him too because he's fake.
Okay,
whatever. And I love when fake people. No, not whatever. We have to keep going for them. Mikey should be canceled.
I mean, what more is to say? I mean, you've been talking on
Mikey and Logan Paul should be the only two people who should be canceled. Everyone else should be held accountable. Even David Dobrik, who I like, whatever. I don't really like him, but he should be held accountable, not canceled. Logan Paul.
What did
Mikey
David Dobrik do?
Oh, he's done a bunch of racist stuff, and he never once got called out for it. Oh my God, he did blackface with Peanut Butter. Him and Zayn, they did blackface. They did a bunch of Indian jokes,
Peanut Butter,
Asian jokes, going ding dong ding, like that kind of shit. They done so. He did an underage joke too. He did one about like saying a 5-year-old was cute. No, I get it, but if you're gonna hold one person accountable, they straight up cancel Shane off the internet. If you're gonna cancel Shane, at least hold David Dobrik fucking accountable. Don't give him a perfume and billboards and all this money for TikTok and his disposable shitty camera app. Like hold everybody fucking accountable, not just because he's cute and young and straight. Whatever, I don't know, but
wait. Okay, whatever. I'm not gonna.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna touch David Dobrik. I'll get fucking buried alive.
Literally doesn't even like post anymore, but YouTube's dead.
I actually like David. I met him once. He was really nice.
Yeah, of course. A sociopath is nice. Like fucking Ted Bundy's
he's a sociopath? Nice. He maintains a lot of friendships.
You think?
Yeah.
Why do you think? Because he has clout.
Because you think people are all using.
Of course. Look at Jason. He's like, oh my God, anything for you, David. I'll fucking leave Trisha for you.
Yeah, but you also hate Jason.
They're just users. They're just fake as fuck. I went at the night I went to the hospital. They came and then I never heard from either. Like David never called me again. I spent 2 years with him, like every single day, filming vlogs with him, and then just never contacted me to say, "Are you okay? Like, hey, you tried to kill yourself. Like, are you okay?" We don't want Leo on this podcast.
What?
He thinks global warming's fake or something. Right?
No, he has a huge initiative for He is.
Okay.
He is Mr.
You have an opposite.
Okay. Yeah. The other way, though, he's more extreme about global warming. Like, just chill, bro.
You're just looking for any reason to hate.
Fire right now.
Wait, hold on. You just said I hate him because he doesn't believe in global warming.
I meant the other way. He's a little extreme about global warming.
I think that's a good idea.
And you choose to collaborate with David Dobrik as your first social media.
That's why you hate
like
him.
influence.
Yeah.
He's like, let me take a picture next to David Dobrik to say, go vote.
Is that
David
really
Dobrik
collab?
Can't even vote. He's not even a citizen. He can't even vote. Why are you collabing with him to go vote? Like, what the hell?
You really hate David. You really hate David.
He's a shitty person. I think shitty people who doesn't take accountability. If you're a shitty person, take accountability, learn and grow, cool. But if you don't take accountability and can just be a shitty person for your life, not cool.
But the puzzle is the only thing he's ever done that I think is shady.
Oh my God. Do you really want me to go into a dissertation about why David Dobrik is?
Give me one other big reason.
I mean, there's so many other ones. Do you want to watch?
So give me.
I mean, he pushed a joke that made me uncomfortable multiple times in his vlog, and I told him specifically this.
What was the joke?
He was trying to get Jason to literally have sex with Hannah. He was like, "I'll buy you like a Ferrari." Like, Trisha, what can I do?
Oh, that's fucked up.
No, he's like, "What can I do?" He brought Tana over one night. That's when I blew up on him. He's like, "Tana, come over. I'm gonna try and convince Trish to have a threesome for the vlog." Like and I asked him so many times. Like, this is like really like messing me up.
Yeah, that's super. Ew, that's horrible. I hate that.
Fucked up in so many ways. Like anytime I've asked, like he's the worst. It's awful.
That's disgusting. I don't like that behavior.
Yeah,
it's like, bro, you can't play with people's lives for your fucking vlog.
He even brought Tana over and she's like, I'm uncomfortable with this, and he still was pushing it. He's so uncomfortable.
Well, it was kind of up to Jason though to say, dude, don't do this anymore.
No, I told David because he was. Jason did. Jason totally did.
He did?
Yeah, Jason's like, stop. This is like not cool. And like David still was like pushing it, but he's like sucks David's teeth, so he's just like, all right, fine, whatever.
I don't like David.
And also, he filmed that 24-year-old Brandon Calvillo like on a date with a 17-year-old, asking the 17-year-old if sex is cool with Brandon, like promoting all this crazy.
I don't know
shit.
what you're talking about there.
Okay, well, there's a ton of things online. You can check it out. He's gross.
Next, how many questions we got left? Also, I have a bunch of David Dobrik and Jason Nash stuff just based on this comment that had a lot of points. I said, I'm not going to lie. I would love for Trisha and Ethan to sit down and watch the clips from David's vlogs that hurt Trisha. I feel like it would give Ethan a better look into why Trisha is so hurt by David and Jason. I think a lot of her past traumas come from what happened between her and Jason. Is that true?
I think my trust with like influencers in general, like I really thought they were my friends. So when he kept being like, I'm here for you, I'm your friend. And I was like, oh, you know what I mean? I feel like maybe a lot of that is.
I think there's plenty of other things that cause trauma in your life before that, though.
I think that I went to a mental hospital for the first time in my life after David and Jason. Like they showed up to the hospital, the Cedar Sinai, before going to a mental hospital. And then they admitted to me in a mental hospital. As soon as they came, I tried to run off the stretcher. David and Jason were both back there in the hallway of Cedar Sinai. I'm like, why are you both fucking back here, David?
Wait. What? He wasn't filming, was he?
They were out filming, but they weren't filming in the thing. So they were out filming. Jeff Wittick came and I was like, what the fuck? Like I like whatever. My makeup artist took me to the hospital.
You didn't want to see them or what?
No, I did not want to see them. Jason was like, okay, I guess to be back there because we were like kind of dating at the time. But as soon as David got back there, I took out all my clothes and made a run for it outside of the hospital. And they took me and they gave me, they sedated me, and then they told me I had to go to a mental hospital.
When you saw David, you just were like, I don't want
I freaked the fuck out because I was already in a panic, like in a state of panic. And like when I woke up, because I kind of like overdosed, and then I came to in Cedar Sinai, and he was back there, and I was so embarrassed. And then I saw David, and I was so fucking livid because that's why, the whole thing started from David, whatever the fuck. And I saw him, and I like fucking freaked out, and I ran. So I tried to go out of thing. They strapped me down for the rest of the night. I'm like crying. Jason's sitting there. I'm like sobbing because they're like strapping me down like I'm fucking Hannibal, and or cannibal. And they're gonna give me a tampon. Anyways, it was traumatic. It was so traumatic. Anyways, long story short, me and David I saw him every single day for like 2 years of our lives or whatever. We went to Thanksgiving at his house, all this crazy shit. That night at the hospital, I went to the mental hospital. He made Jason cut me off, and I never heard from him again. He never was like, "Are you okay?" After I got out of the hospital, nothing. Just cut me off. Said no one can talk to Trisha. No one's allowed to talk about her. He talked about me in a stream one time, a live stream, and that's the only stream he never like re-uploaded. He made sure that was like disappeared off the internet because someone brought me up. So like if you talk, like no one's allowed to talk about me.
How do you know he told Jason don't? Jason never contacted you after that?
Yeah, he like blocked me. Well, no, we did talk. We talked secretly for like 3 months.
And what makes you think that it was David?
Because he told me. Because we talked secretly for 3 months. Like we hooked up and
Jason
stuff.
said,
I have to dump you. Like I don't have a choice.
Have you said that publicly?
Yeah.
That's psycho.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's because
people not believe you.
I think the thing is,
so wild.
I called their friend, a really good friend of theirs, in their vlog out. Like he was dating a minor, and he was in the vlogs. And David asked about their sex life in the vlogs when she was 17, and like I called that out. And I think that was like the big issue because it was,
he didn't want to rock the boat.
I'm sure, but whatever.
Okay, well
I don't regret it.
I'm interested.
Don't date minors. How about that? It's pretty easy. If you're 24, you don't need to date 17-year-olds.
It's like so easy.
So easy.
Just don't date little girls. I mean, really, it is so easy.
It's very simple.
So anyway, let's go through, first of all, before we get into
pedophiles by putting them in the thing. Dom too. Dom did sexual assault to girls at VidCon.
I don't know who these people are. I'm not familiar with the vlogs. Exactly. But he goes through people in the vlog squad. Like he grabs people and discards them like, flavor of the week. Like I remember Big Nick. Do you remember Big Nick? Like he was in every vlog, and then he just I don't know what happened, or I don't know why he left, but it's like he just used these people and disposed them like a
Well, his one minority friend in the vlog, Seth, did this whole expose on him last year during the summer of like how basically he like did watermelon jokes and like made him do all these things.
Oh my
like,
God. I watched, dude. Some of the shit I saw was crazy. How he made out with Jason without knowing.
Yeah.
And then he was, oh my God. So we're going to watch all that. This is all new to me.
Then when Seth made the video, and I wasn't that close to Seth, it's not like I'm like whatever, but when Seth made the videos, like people were coming for him, calling him like a clout chaser and stuff. And I was like,
I feel bad. You can tell that he was really upset by how he was treated.
It's crazy. People do stuff for like whatever, money or whatever. But
I start to see your point the more I look into it, that David has like immunity from criticism. Yeah.
I made to believe that I'm like such a crazy person that I can't keep friends, that everything I do is like fucking toxic and nuts. And I'm like, I can't be like that nutty. I mean, I'm not, like I did go to a mental hospital 3 times that year, but I feel like they made me that way because I like was totally fine before. I was like kicking okay.
Okay, so I've got a bunch of compilations. One is just David being problematic, Jason and Tana. Oh, I guess he was trying to have a threesome with Tana all the time. Jason calling you fat.
Who was 18 at the time that he tried to kiss her off camera, and she's like, I didn't want it. It was so disgusting. And then he kept trying to like have sex with her. Right, so and he was 45. I'm like, oh, she's like 18. Stop.
So let's watch. Here, let's just start from the top here. Now, there was actually one part of this compilation where he tricks one of his friends into making out with Jason in a mask, which, by the way, was really disgusting. And then, so this whole compilation we made got removed from the internet. And so David clearly has some protocol with his MCN with YouTube where if anyone uploads this clip, it automatically gets blocked, which leads me to believe that David is in some form trying to suppress content that makes him look bad, because I know he did get a lot of shit for this. I do think we have that clip regardless.
Ooh, how did we get it? A screen record?
I think we have it.
Ew. You know what my biggest problem with him is? Like, he never once acknowledged any of this, that nothing he did was wrong ever. Like, you can't just say, sorry, that was gross. Like, you can't just say something in BPC. He just gets away with so much shit. And he's like a really, really problematic person, like an actually disgusting person like this behind the scenes, like trying to block the stuff that you did. Like,
so here it is.
Own up to it.
So best makeout ever. And so the situation, it was quite mean. One of his friends thought he was going to be making out with this girl, Corinna. And so she goes into the bathroom and she goes, oh, I don't look good. And then she goes back in and then Jason puts on this mask. It was like an old man's mask and then comes out. And by the way, I don't know what's wrong with Jason. He needs to have some dignity because like he literally does anything for David. Yeah. And he's an old fucking man with kids. He kind of needs to like have a little bit of dignity.
That was the greatest thing to me is that like his like, I couldn't be around Jason because I was a bad influence on his kids. Like, I couldn't live with him because the ex-wife was like, I'll take away your kids. Meanwhile, he lived with 2 other guys that were banging chicks every night so loud you could hear them fucking in the next room next to his kids.
He lived with them?
Yeah. He lived with them for like 4 years.
Jason lived with David?
It was Scott and Todd. And they were
Who
like...
are those guys?
Vlog Squad people.
Jason, you have a family.
And his kids were right next to Todd's room where he'd be like fucking girls all the time. They were doing coke. But I was the bad influence. I was like, oh my God, he's so gross.
Jason,
he produced a porn like last year with David lookalikes and Natalie lookalikes inside of David's house, and they like laughed about it on the pod. Like, he's so disgusting. What's even more disgusting is like they get away with the shit, right? She was 18, but now he's hanging out with other 18-year-olds, like Charlie D'Amelio, and like being like, oh, come like visit my daughter.
Okay, wait.
Stop! You're so gross.
So anyway,
stop hanging out with the Sway House, Jason. You're 48.
So anyway,
gross.
To go back to where I was. So David set up his friend to make out with Jason, think he was making out with a girl. Then the guy came out and said, I did not have he did not have my consent. He didn't tell me he was doing that. It was not okay that he did that.
Yeah, it wasn't set up.
And so David now has a block in all territories protocol on that clip. You can see right here. So actually, I do want to show it, but I don't. Because like I'll dispute him, I don't care. But do we have it? I mean, I'd love to show it.
He'll take this down if he'll take it.
He'll try, but come on, it's fair use. This is my first rodeo. We're gonna watch it, and that's all this is gonna happen. So sorry, dude. Sorry. And in fact we're gonna watch it on the block screen, which is kind of epic. So here it goes.
Alex has a scary old man mask that he's been using to scare people for a while now. I'm going to convince Seth that he needs to make out with Corinna while she's wearing that old man mask. Seth, are you okay with making out with Corinna? Yes. Well, Corinna's going to come out of my room before she has the mask on, and she's going to show me how weird she looks in her outfit. I'm going to tell her that it does look weird and that I need to go and add some more padding to make her look more like an old man. I got to put padding, you look kind of dumb. But instead of going to the room and adding more padding, Corinna's going to hop out of the outfit and have Jason put it on instead. I'm taking myself now, especially when Jason is like a porn.
Oh my God. Oh.
Anyway,
get the gist.
The guy gets freaked out when he realizes it's Jason. Jason really like made out with him. Yeah, I'm like, dude, you have no respect for yourself.
It's also something kind of like perverted about it. I don't know. There's something like not all together there. Like, I don't really know what it is. Like, he did that a lot. They did a lot of those kind of things, like kiss my mom, like just like weird pervy stuff that I was like, I don't know. It's like the Tana thing. He said it was a bit, but the cameras weren't rolling. He's like, oh, I kissed her in the closet. And she goes, I didn't want it. And like she says that in the vlog. And David's like, oh, that's gross. And it's like, it's just like, ew, I don't know.
I would never do that. Put on a mask and make out with another dude for a gag when he thinks he's making out with a girl.
He's just desperate.
So anyway, here, that part we cut out of this because he blocked it. So here's everything else of David being problematic.
Black guy. Yeah, it may be awkward at first, but I'm sure. What's going on?
He's coming over. He's our only black friend. Don't ruin this for me, okay?
This is Alex. You probably already know. What's this? Seth, you want something to drink? Come on, Alex. You guys
So,
like, it's just like straight up like a race. Like, watermelon is just the straight up racist jokes. Those are the jokes from like those old cartoons. That's like straight up like racist. Like, there's nothing current, like new, trendy, funny, nothing.
This is the guy who made out with Jason, who later makes a video about it. I'll just watch the whole thing.
Hey, Seth, you want something to drink? Come on, Alex. You guys are literally the goofiest people I've ever met. my friend Seth has a warrant for his arrest. And this is because he has a bunch of unpaid tickets. So today, I'm gonna turn him into the police station.
You're breaking the only friend code there really is.
Seth?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be pretty
I hate how
straightforward,
they laugh.
okay?
It's like the shit they say is not that funny.
No, like he said. No, but then he will like cut and be like, okay, everyone, we're gonna come in with a laugh, and everyone has to like laugh as if like you said something funny.
That's so fake. How can you do that? I could never do that. He really does that?
Yeah.
He would make, what would he tell you? Would he ever be like, you didn't laugh enough?
No, but he'd be like, okay, guys, let's try. Like he redoes stuff all the time. He's like, okay, let's try it one time. Everyone just like laugh more when she says this or like something.
Oh, it's so exhausting. So phony. This is the same guy. I don't know why they keep fucking with this guy.
This was like early on. This was like kind of before I was in the group. I didn't really know Seth too well. I met him a couple of times, but this was before.
Go to the police station to turn you in.
I know, that's what I thought.
Don't worry, officers. We got it from here.
But you're joking, right? We're not going to the police station.
With the amount of overcrowding in jails right now, you'll get out in a couple weeks.
We're here at the Los Angeles Police Department.
What the fuck is going on, bro?
I want me to go in there on myself, man.
I'm not going in there. I have warrants.
Oh, here it is. Take it blocked. Or maybe the first part got blocked with him explaining.
The stuff with Jason and those bits, one, I did not consent to those things. I did not. David also shouldn't have done it. Period. It's not right.
Oh, look at the Japanese food. We're trying. Yeah, there we go. First, we're starting off with No! It's not racist. That's like the sounds I hear when they talk.
No, it's not racist as long as I keep saying no.
Oh, okay. We're doing. No! I give this one 5 sushi rolls out of 8.
No.
What?
I know. I just have to keep saying no.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna try this one.
I think it's called Don't Eat This Game.
I love shooting people of different ethnicities. Yeah, man, I want to shoot some black people. Oh, we're cops. Oh, gotcha. Nigga!
So you've been seeing this girl for a month?
Around a month, yeah.
Do you love her?
Fuck off.
Is Brandon good at sex?
Honestly, yeah.
She's 17.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Brandon. What's up?
What? Anyway, in response to this is
So on that,
the tricking the guy into kissing was really twisted.
Right.
He's blocking it, so he's obviously afraid of the criticism, which is interesting. The racist jokes and stuff, I don't think it was like super bad. Just, kind of in bad taste.
I don't think it's like. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have like a comment. I think it's bad, but I also think you should take like accountability. Everyone else has to. You just can just like skim.
I mean, other people did less. Like Jenna Marbles, had to leave the internet in shame, and
but
this is all
the
worse.
big thing for me was Seth saying that he didn't consent to it, which is really why I made my final video exiting from that group.
That's
because
fucked up.
He specifically called me and Jason and said, "Can I use the bit where Tana comes over and Jason tries to fuck her?" And I was like, "No." Jason says no. I'm on the phone with David at 2 a.m. He posted his vlog anyways. It happens. I'm like crying and bawling my eyes out. He's like, it won't happen again. 2 days later, it's just him, Jason, Madison Beer, and Tana, and they do that exact same joke again. And that's when I lost my shit. I'm like, I'm making a fucking video. I did not consent to it. I said I was uncomfortable. You pushed Tana to do this joke, and Tana's like, I don't want to. He's like, I remember this so clearly. When Tana came over to the house, when I said don't invite her, he's like, can you guys just go in the room? And Jason takes his shirt off and you guys pretend like you're having sex. And she's like, no, I'm not doing that. We said no so many times and he just wouldn't take no for an answer. He's so gross. The consent thing is disgusting to me.
So I was
so uncomfortable, And I said it multiple times.
I'm not super familiar with the Tana situation. So I'm just this is the clip that kind of talks about it. But from what I gather briefly is that he kept trying to... Well, I'll just play the clip.
This is why I don't like the legality loophole, because Jason's 44 in this clip. Tana's 18. And he tried to kiss her, and Tana's like, I didn't want it. Why did you do it? The cameras weren't on. And everyone's like, well, she was legal. She was an adult. But she's clearly saying she was uncomfortable, didn't want it. He's 44. She's 18.
No, that's disgusting.
That to me should be a pedophile, because that's a child. You're a grown-ass man. Yes, it's not legally a pedophile, but it's so disgusting.
I'm just saying people misuse the word pedophile.
He's still
pedophile is someone that fucks an 8-year-old.
Okay, he's still making videos.
But he's creepy and predatory.
TikTok houses. There's a TikTok house with only 8-year-olds, 8 to 13-year-olds, and he made a video with them. I forget what they're called. It's on his thing. And it's
why? There's a TikTok house with 8-year-olds? Are you for sure?
8 to 13-year-olds, and he did a whole video trying to be in their house.
What's the name of that TikTok house?
If you type, I'm sure if I
Pedo house?
Oh my God, I thought we were not saying the P word. And he's like, what I'm saying is like, and he goes under the guise, and this is what happens. And I'm not saying Jason is this. I'm saying for my abuser, he went under the guise. I'm a father. I have a daughter her age, so it's totally fine. It's not totally fine. Mm-hmm. It's creepy and disgusting. You have no right being around young children like that. Like, it's not acting. It's not set. Like, the parents, I mean, they could have been around. They might not have been around. But this is like real life. This is vlogs. But they disguise all of this as we're acting. It was a bit. The thing with the minor, the 17-year-old and the 24-year-old, that was just acting. They didn't really have sex. Bullshit.
That was real.
Bullshit.
Oh, that was real. I could tell. But okay, so here's where the friction happened is that David kept playing up this angle that Jason wanted to have sex with Tana or to have a threesome, and it was actually starting to cause problems in your relationship.
This particular clip is before we even met. Like, he really did want to date Tana. He tried to make out with her, so this was before we even met.
Dude, that's okay. You're 44 and you're trying to make out with an 18-year-old, bro. Stop. That's disgusting.
And he did it while the cameras were off, and they admit to all of this.
Jason, I mean, with peace and love, Jason. I don't know you, but you're really embarrassing. Dan, pull up this clip. So what's the context with this clip? Can you play? Wait. Oh, okay. You play it for me now. Then Dan, you'll show it.
They need to put you in a wheelchair, bro.
Jeff got shot. Did you know that?
You got shot?
Jeff, come on in here.
Let me see that bruise.
We were peacefully protesting. We weren't rioting. I wasn't there fucking looting, smashing up store windows.
He got it on video, too.
Yeah, I was doing a
really
selfie video.
He's there selfieing himself, probably trying to,
I posted the video of me getting hit. It's like a funny video. It's like I get hit and I'm like,
Look at their reactions compared to Jason. Okay, so he's talking about being at a peaceful protest and getting shot with one of those like pellets or whatever. Jason and him are like laughing at it. Like, these two guys. Also, they're never in the vlog. King Batch, and I'm sorry I forget this guy's name. He was on the reality show Two House. I forget his name. But they're like, they bring him in during the Black Lives Matter thing. They're all getting canceled for thing. All of a sudden, he's like, we need to talk. The video is called It's Time for a Change. And so he brings in these two guys that are never in the videos, African American, whatever. And then they proceed to talk about Jeff, like Caucasian, being like shot and like just like laughing at it. And you can just see like from this guy's expression versus like Jeff and him like laughing. And this guy's like, what the fuck? Like, you got, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a serious shit. Anyways, it's all cringy, too, because these are guys that are never in the vlogs. They're all getting canceled for being racist, which they were in past vlogs with Seth and other people. And it's like, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring two African-American guys in here to just kind of like, we're not racist.
If I can be devil's advocate,
Please.
I feel like they're just hearing it for the first time, and Jason and Jeff
But what's funny about being shot by police at a protest? Like, why are they laughing? What's the joke?
There's comedy in everything. I mean,
what is it? I would love to know, like, what's funny during Black Lives Matter being shot by, like, because you're white. It's funny.
He was there protesting.
I'm sure if it was like if it was a black guy being shot, like, it's not funny. It's not funny if anyone's being shot.
Well,
like, why are you laughing because you're white and you survived it? No, tell me. I really would love to know because I don't really get it.
I mean, you can laugh just because you're laughing at something doesn't mean that you think it's funny.
What? Oh, okay. So it's just like what? I'm like genuinely curious. I'm not like mad. I'm just like genuinely curious what it is.
I don't know. I don't necessarily see everything you see there. But let's watch this.
Okay.
Let's watch this. Okay, here we go.
Recently went on a date. They were in a dressing room. I don't know why they were in a dressing room together, but Jason was getting changed, and Jason thought that there was a spark in the air.
Why would she come in the dressing room with me?
This is not being dressing room. We were doing
Tana, why would you come into my dressing room?
And then this is the best part. Jason leans in for a kiss.
You're not giving all the information.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Tana's 19 years old. Would you ever have a threesome?
Yeah, that's not funny. That's weird. That's disgusting. Like, that's not funny.
And she's like, I don't know if it said it in that clip. It probably is at the end of this clip. She's like, literally like, I didn't want it. The cameras were off. And he's like laughing about it. And even David's like, it's gross. The fact that he needs to repeat the story.
And then they do this huge laugh, like, she's 19-year-old, and he tried to lean in for a kiss. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
it's like,
so
dude,
gross.
It's weird.
You're like a predator.
Okay, so now here is, let's
Text me as much.
Tana just called, actually. She wanted to.
Again, not interested.
I didn't make the joke, he did! I don't want to have a threesome with Tana!
Guys, chill. This is the stupidest fucking fight ever. She doesn't like Tana jokes. Drop it.
So did you actually get mad in this moment, or is this just part of the gag?
Oh my God, we had so many fights over this.
So give me some insight to what's
You'll see
happening
I take my
here.
clothes off. I take my clothes off in this bit. Like, I lose my shit. I get completely
Why
naked.
did you take your clothes off?
Because I didn't want him to use it in the vlog. I'm like, if I get completely naked, he can't use it. You'll see he like leaves it in and like blurs it out.
Oh my
and like when it was an actual thing where we told him like this is not funny, like, and they didn't make it for a while.
You
like,
said do not include this.
So he did this for months, and this is like the final time when we really blew up. And I'm like, don't fucking do those jokes. He stopped until he needed to get me out of the vlog squad. So this is my thing. He tried to start kicking me out of the vlog squad when like old David. He's like, we need to get Trisha out when like this old video of me saying I support Trump surfaced, right? I said like immigrants are stealing our jobs. Some fucking fucking stupid bullshit that like it's stupid, whatever. And it came out, obviously David's DACA or whatever. And so that's when he started like being like, we're not filming with Trish. I would go over and he's like, Trish, you stay in the car. Like he used to film with me every single day. And I get it. Okay, fine. Distance yourself from me. Like whatever. I'm problematic. Blah,
He would
blah.
tell you to stay in the car?
Yeah. Stopped filming with me. So this was like all around.
Wait, what does that mean he would tell you to stay in the car? Like you would go somewhere?
Yeah, like we always went around like.
And everybody would get out and he would say,
Yeah.
stay in the car?
Yeah.
Huh?
Whatever. I mean, I get it. I was like.
Did he ever do that to anybody else?
Like the boring ones, like Carly and Aaron, they always had to like stay back. We started using them after I left because like the girls.
Why?
The girls
What kind of world is this where he's telling people to stay in the car? I mean, this is
it's fine.
psycho.
I guess like whatever.
It's
I'm problematic.
odd.
It was old video of me, whatever. And so he's tried to start distancing me, like getting me out of the vlogs, whatever. It's again, I'm not even mad about that. But what was so crazy is he knew this week before my blow up. That's when he started doing the Tana. He invited Tana over to the house to have sex with Tana. He released footage that Jason never wanted in the vlog, where Jason said privately to him at like a party, if you can get Tana to have sex with me, like I'll buy you a Ferrari, because that was like David's dream car. And like all this shit he started putting in the vlogs the week of my blow up, and I was like, I was holding it in, and I just lost my shit.
So he knew that you were not comfortable with these jokes because it made you feel insecure, rightfully so. I mean, that's your boyfriend.
It's not even insecure. It made him look like a pervert. Like I'm dating this like pervert that wants to be with like.
It makes everyone look and feel bad.
I don't mind a threesome. I've had threesomes, like buy it on onlytrish.com. My threesome with Adam and Lena, we sell it. Like I don't mind. Like I'm not insecure about it.
No, but she's
19, and you want us to go in a room with Jason, this 19-year-old, and like she's uncomfortable with it. I was just like, and Tana's a clout, right? She just wants anything for David's vlog. She's like, yeah,
and even
I'm down.
that, she was like, nah.
Yeah, no, she really was. She was, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. And they kept pushing it and pushing it. It was so embarrassing.
So was Jason in on the pushing, or was he also telling David, I'm not comfortable with this?
To Jason's defense, he was, because like, he was dating me, and at the time he's kind of like, I don't know. Even that night, he's like, I want to put that in the vlog, and David puts it in the vlog.
That's so fucked
Yeah,
up.
but Jason.
So both you and Jason are saying, David, don't put this in the vlog.
Yeah.
And he does.
I still remember it was like 2 a.m. He calls Jason, like, can I put this? And I'm like, no. And then Jason's like, no, don't. And then he did. And then he did it again a second time that week, and I lost my fucking shit.
Ugh, that's really gross.
He's so gross. Anyways. Okay.
Well, here, there's a lot more, yeah.
I also found one with the kid house. Surprising vibe crew is what it is. These.
Send it. I got to see this. Let's just, play it for me.
Okay.
Send me on WhatsApp. I got to see the vibe crew.
If you can get Tana to have a three-way with me, Trisha, I'll fucking buy you a Ferrari. I'll do anything. I'll be your slave for
So is this just a bit, or is this real?
I don't know, because I'm not in this room. I'm like sleeping at home or something. Like I'm not in this.
She's
scene.
19 and nobody wants this threesome.
Nobody wants it. It's so gross. Tana will do it because she's broken and wants clout. And I felt bad for her because I see me, at 19, I let people do crazy shit. Put a candlestick up my ass, whatever. Anything for like a little bit of money, a little bit of clout, whatever. And so she would do it. And I'm like, this
Love
is like
I
broken.
Whenever you mention the candlestick,
I was 19. I was Tana's
vibes,
age.
bro.
And so I see the same brokenness in her, and she'll admit to it. Like she says she comes from
and
fucked up.
you feel he's taking advantage.
So taking advantage. And maybe not now she's like, I love it, whatever. But like literally when she's my age, she's going to be in a mental hospital as well. Like it's sad because something does make you go a little nuts. Like you're used, you're abused, and you don't realize it at the time. It sucks.
Trisha, can you help me with my video? You would do anything for me?
I'd do anything for you.
Can you and Jason have a threesome with Tana?
I think she's in Australia.
Down to Tana's house and Jonah thinks he's
Where are you?
I just got off a plane LAX. How'd you know?
Holy shit!
It's like they're just paid to laugh.
Can you please come over? Okay. Hi, Tana.
Does anyone ever express like I know you and Jason did, but do other people in the clique be like, David, don't do this?
Yeah, and it's proven. There's been in vlogs actually where Corinna was like blowing Todd in his Tesla, and they begged him not to use it. Like, you can't use that fucking footage. You can't use it. He like said, I'll pay you like $1,000 if you let me use it, and they're like, no, and they're like, I'll pay you $5,000 or whatever. And like, okay, fine. But they like people have expressed like that they don't want it in the vlog, and he'll like have to either. Sometimes he'll take it out. I've seen him take it out. He's never taken it out for me, or he'll like say, I'll pay you or something if I can put it in the vlog.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't want to hang around with this guy. You know what I mean? It's like this guy is fucking just looking to leech everybody's life force out for his fucking dumbass vlog.
Yeah.
Also, it's easy for him. He's behind the camera. He's never have to deal with being
so
the subject of his bullshit.
Ugh.
You're here. This is our ask.
Okay. You know I'm like taken though, right?
Sure, whatever.
Okay, because I just feel like you're about to ask me to fuck someone.
No.
Okay.
Would you have a threesome with Jason and Trisha?
How do you feel about Jason wanting to have a threesome with you?
But why me, Jason? You could do better.
Because he likes broken girls. Is that true or true?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true.
Why are you in a Tesla at midnight while I'm fucking sleeping with like Tana and stuff like that?
By the way,
I lost my shit when I saw it. He didn't even tell me. And David and Jason were like, "Oh, we were gonna run it by you. We forgot." Fuck you! I'm doing a whole exposed video. You fucking are a pedo enabler. You're doing all this crazy shit. Like, fuck you.
I have never laughed once in my life like that.
You couldn't be in the vlog squad then.
Yeah, I got to work on that. Why the fuck do these 8-year-olds have a hype house? It's called the Vibe Crew.
Welcome back to the Vibe Crew. Today, I want to
a parody
introduce
or
you
is
guys
this
to a
real?
new member of the Vibe Crew. His name is Jason.
So there's not really a Vibe
What's up?
Crew.
My name is
They're real.
Jason. I love TikTok. I love sports. I love basketball. And I collect baseball cards. And it's great to be a part of the Vibe Crew. Woo!
Wait. How old is this guy?
I'm actually not sure. Did you get the wrong guy? Indy. I think so. Indy.
What?
You're gonna do, I don't know. This is who I thought was coming. Your name's Jason.
Yeah, my
He
name's
did this for
Jason.
120,000 views.
When David stopped vlogging, they all went to.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to say I'm super excited about the Vibe Crew Olympics today.
Bro, I can't. Watch this. Don't do that. Look at his wiki feet rating and tell me that we don't hold accountability here on this show. Foot soldiers, assemble! David Dobrik had a 4.8 or something like stellar like that.
How is
What's his
David
rating now? Read it.
Dobrik-
Read it.
I literally can't see. I have like the worst eyes ever.
1.37.
How is David Dobrik's content still allowed on YouTube? I don't understand that. Like, how are those?
Trisha, I feel like you glossed over the fact that we tanked his wiki feet rating.
Like, the things that I didn't consent to are still up there. Him scaring me in the shower, like.
Okay. That's what I want to get onto next.
It's really not funny because like Seth asked him to take stuff down that like racist shit and like stuff that I asked him to.
And he
not put
said,
out
"Let me
there.
pay you." And Seth's like, "What the
The
hell?"
stuff with Tana, like I don't want that shit out there. Like,
Okay, I have. So a lot of the stuff you claimed has been resurfacing over the past few days, and I've been watching these, and I'm like, "Holy fuck!" There's like video evidence of all the shit you're saying. Is it okay with you if I open these?
yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay, so here's one. I snuck into their hotel room. You told an anecdote about how you and Jason were having, let's say, relations.
Mhm.
You guys were doing it.
I mean,
What
David
advice do you have for people that want to make?
And why don't you tell me? You were there. Tell me what happened.
Are you talking? Is this the shower clip?
Yeah, I snuck into their hotel room.
Literally the thumbnail, because you asked me if there was video of this, and I'm like, it's literally the thumbnail and title. Which
Oh yeah. Wait, I have a picture of the thumbnail here. I want to show it because even the thumbnail was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So here's the thumbnail. Jesus, not a very flattering image of you.
Who does that sound like with the thumbnails here on the Frenemies podcast?
I don't do it. Come on.
I have the biggest head next to you. They like blow me up, and it's like
You want them to shrink your head?
They just don't put me equal. Anyways,
So it says I snuck into their hotel room surprise.
this is the last vlog I'm in before the Tana stuff went down. So this is like the last, because I was not comfortable with this. I did not want this in there either.
So tell me what happened. Tell me the situation.
It was when does it come out? It was around Christmas time, right? When was the?
This is just a re-upload.
Oh, it's a re-upload.
Here, I'm trying to find. Okay, so here. So set this up for me, okay?
It was just like, I was in Boston for 2 weeks with Jason and his family. He's like, we need to fly to Chicago, which is where David's from. And so we did. And we land. And this is like 2 hours after we land. We like get in the hotel room. Like, I don't know. I guess we just started having like sex or something like that. And he's like, oh, can you go get me a tissue? And I go in there and David's in the shower. And like, we were in the room for at least an hour. From the airport was an hour. Like, he was there like 2 hours.
What do you mean in the shower? He was just in the bathroom?
Behind the shower curtain.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, and they did these a lot, like scare pranks in my house. Like David would be in my house or whatever, but we were never like having.
But why
sex.
would that? Here's the creepy thing. Why would Jason have sex with you for an hour, knowing David was in the bathroom?
It wasn't an hour. It was like maybe like 15 minutes.
Okay, but
like,
have sex with you
Yeah,
at all?
yeah.
That's so disgusting.
That's what I said. I was just like, wait,
It's
why?
such a violation.
Why didn't we just like send me in the bathroom before we got naked? Like we're naked in this clip, like completely.
So here.
I'm completely naked in this clip.
Oh, you can
FYI.
tell. Here, well, let's watch.
Jason just landed.
Babe.
Who am I?
Did you see his first podcast where this girl literally just says, "Oh my God, you didn't get me a car," and they all just like bust out laughing and like nothing's funny. It was so odd. It's so
I didn't.
You're not a fan. It was number 1 on trending. How YouTube is trending somebody who is like doing this shit? Who's like literally a predator? Who's literally like not respecting anyone's like like anything? It's fucking crazy.
Well, because nobody knows. David's like the king, and they don't know any better. Nobody's talking about it. I mean, nobody gives a shit. This video's still monetized on his channel.
It does feel like such a lost cause because like that's why I didn't even. I'm down. I'm okay not talking about it anymore because it's just such a lost cause. I've been screaming and screaming.
Well,
and
I just want to cover this because I'm so invested now. But after this, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Like it's like it doesn't even
But
matter.
so you guys had sex. You went into the bathroom, and then you're like, "What? Did you say anything to them?"
Yeah, I was supposed to go back to Boston with Jason, and because he left like that night. Like we only came in, I think, either for this or something else that was happening. Oh, there was like a skunk bit or something. We only came in for 12 hours, and I was supposed to go back to Boston with Jason. And I literally stayed in Illinois by myself. I went to see like Hamilton or something like that, and then I flew back by myself because I felt so weird about it. And then David never put me in another vlog for like a month until the Tana thing happened in February, where the all hell.
So he was mad that you got upset about it?
Yeah, I said I was upset about it. I said like I don't like this is
that's his thing. That you can't when you say I have a line that you can't cross, he drops you.
Well, exactly. And here's the thing, like with this one in particular, because I know everyone's gonna be like, well, Trisha, you're naked online. At this point, I was doing Patreon where I was only posting like nude
Who
photos.
gives a fuck if you're naked online? The guy violated your trust and privacy.
That, Jason's ex-wife was like, you guys can't live together because Trisha's naked online. So I stopped being naked online. I took down all my photos. And then this happens. I'm like, fuck, Jason's ex-wife is gonna see this and be like, oh, they're naked. They're like having sex on camera or something like that. And that was my concern. And I even said it to Jason. I said it to David. I was like, your ex-wife is like not gonna let me ever live with you or see the kids because now I'm naked again online, which I took down all the naked stuff at that time. And so that was like my big concern. And I was like, it was all so like much. It was just a lot. And I did not go back with Jason. I did not go back with David. I stayed in Illinois by myself. And like,
that's great. And I love that his apology is to cut you out.
Yeah, because that's literally what it is. And it's so insane.
So here's another one where
that's why I take real issue with people like AB saying that shit's scripted and it's a show. It's fucking not. Like I didn't even consent to it. I don't even want to be in it.
Right. It's good to it's good that we are putting that forward so people know it's not. I mean, this shit is real. One other thing before we get into this main conversation we're going to be getting into, AB is the main simp. Turns out AB's not just a simp for me, he's a simp for other people.
Right.
Including, among others, David Dobrik.
No.
Is that
Can you simp for more than
I don't
one
know. Is that
entity?
What do you think, AB? Is it illegal to simp?
SIMP. I have to check the guidebook, but
he's like a Mormon simp.
I think to be a simp, you have to have one idol, in my opinion.
To be a true simp. So
To be a
maybe
true simp,
so what's
like-
someone who has a bunch of simps? Or who's like I think that's just a Mormon simp. You believe in polygamy. Yeah.
I think you use the word simp and stand a little bit liberally.
So, okay. Are you a simp of mine or a stan of mine?
I'll take simp of yours.
Okay.
I guess.
But are you a stan of David Dobrik's?
I like David's videos, but I haven't kept up with them in a long time. I haven't watched them. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I just want to make sure I'm higher on the stratosphere. And Michael Jackson, where would you put your symptom for him? Because I know you love to defend Michael Jackson. That's a conversation for another day, but I'm curious where you stand.
That's another thing. I feel like you kind of, I don't know. I don't like talking about the Michael thing, but.
Really? Okay. We don't have to talk about Michael. Just curious.
I just feel like I would need to properly explain myself because I know a lot of people get offended, and I believe that they have a right to. It's just a touchy subject.
Well, hey, a lot of people disagree with me. I mean, that was a big controversy when I made that episode.
It's probably one of our most disliked episodes ever.
So you're not in the minority by any means, or well, you might be, but you're not alone.
You're not alone.
So how would you? I'm just curious. How would you rate Michael Jackson in the stratosphere of great men that you aspire, or that you admire?
I just want to be like you, man. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Good call. Well stated. Okay, so AB being a fan of David Dobrik, we've been arguing a little bit behind the scenes about some of the things going on. So I thought, let's talk about it on the podcast. It's only fair that David has somebody, on the crew that supports him, gives a little counter argument. So, AB, what are your thoughts on David Dobrik? Hit me with it.
Well, yeah, I'm not like I said, I'm not like a huge fan, but I watched him in the past. But I just feel like we were going a little bit harsh. And from the outside looking in, I know it could look a little bit insane, but I feel like anyone who keeps up with David or is familiar with his content knows that everyone kind of talks to each other in a certain way. It's kind of built off.
AB, Trisha's going to murder you, right?
Oh, 100%.
Before you continue, I just want to know what you're getting yourself into. She's going to body slam you and bury you in my backyard.
Because he's an idiot.
But go ahead. No, I think I'm interested to hear you out. So go ahead. I'll protect you as best as I can.
Thank you. I'm not saying Trisha's lying. I'm not saying her feelings aren't valid. Her feelings are valid. Everything she's saying, I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying there's another perspective. We were going a little hard on Jason, calling him, saying he's pathetic, and I just felt like there's more to it. Like he's self-aware that, for example, Jason, if we're talking about Jason, that he's a failed actor and that David basically saved his career. He has 2 kids that he has to take care of. It's not like it's not.
Yeah, but like I think her criticism is that he was like creeping on an 18-year-old when they were together.
Right, but if you watch the videos, it's like it fits the narrative of a lot of the.
You think it was a gag? You think it wasn't as real? She thought it was real. I guess I don't know. I mean, I hear you, but I guess as her girlfriend at this same time, you're like,
yeah, but the same
trying to get them to fuck,
I really don't want to like bring Trisha into this.
Go ahead. No, let's go there.
But like there were bits where like she was talking about how
oh
she
my God.
one of the younger guys. She always said
she did. Yeah, Trisha.
Jonah. And there's always jokes about how like she's obsessed with David and how she would hook up with David. That was a common joke amongst them. Huh. But it's like a sitcom sort of in a way that stuff is exaggerated. There's bits, and then people break character, and they leave those in the vlogs. It's like people have very exaggerated characters, and
so your point is that it's all kind of just fantasy played up for the camera. Yeah, just shtick.
Right.
Well, I'm sure Trish will have plenty to say about that. I think you're partially right. My hunch is you're partially right, but.
And again, like I said, I'm not
what's
there.
Interesting to me is behind the scenes, people begging David not to put shit in, but he does, and like Jason being like, "Don't put in this Tana shit," and he does. That seems weird. That's not really sitcom-ish, is it? That's like weird reality TV.
Right, but it's again, I mean, it seems very lighthearted for a lot of the stuff they put in. Like, I mean, of course he should respect that, but. I mean,
and what about Big Nick saying that he felt like he was bullied and that he had no self-worth and that he had to really get out of the situation because he felt it was toxic?
I mean, I feel bad for Big Nick. I mean, I know there's a lot of jokes that were made, but he went back and forth as well. I mean, everyone makes fun of everyone else in the group.
Oh, he says, can we push it closer to 1? That's fine. Big Nick is calling in too because... Well, Big Nick was someone who used to be on the Vlog Squad.
Right.
Who I always liked. I thought he was interesting. And he had a falling out with David, too. And he saw us talking about it on the last episode of Frenemies. And he DM'd me and said, yo, he had some comments about what we said. So I said, do you want to call in? And he said, yes. So Big Nick is calling in.
For a long time, like, I felt like worthless being in those videos. Like, I was like, dude, why am I even like here? Like, what's the point of my existence? Because I was just treated like this punching bag, right? Like everyone's just joking about me, like mocking me. Then the fans in public are doing the same. And like, I had a good long look in the mirror and like, I was like, wow, I'm like really depressed. Like, and that was kind of my signal to be like, all right, dude, like I realized right then and there, like followers, fame, money, none of this stuff is worth it if I'm getting to the point where like I don't even want to live.
Well, you know, I think the reason why David and his crew doesn't like the drama because it's like a crack in the armor, or like he creates this illusion where it's all laughs and it's all fun, right? And everybody looks at it like this is like a perfect life where everyone's having fun and stuff. But when you understand that like actually it's toxic and maybe they're bullying people and the people who are there are actually miserable because they're just fucking working all the time and not thinking about the consequences of what they do. I think that it breaks the illusion that they're casting because like when they're making fun, like everybody's forced to laugh real big, you know, when there's like a joke.
You know what? They're not forced to. They actually all do it in synchronized harmony.
It's so weird, isn't it?
It's like he's not like it's like almost they all have like a cue, like oh yeah, let's laugh at this. Like there's sometimes laughs will be like redone and. You know, you can detach the audio and put that under the clip, you know, and pretend like it's a laugh. But most of the time, no, they will all laugh in synchronized perfect harmony.
That's cool.
Oh, you mean they didn't even need to edit? They would actually.
No, they don't need to. It's like they all just have a cue to do it.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So, and yeah, it's just like I said, it kind of goes back to the cult thing, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and so I was watching all of this, and obviously I was a part of it. But like something in my spirit was just like, dude, you gotta get out. Like this is not normal. And I'm thinking, well, why would I get like you know have those conversations with yourself like, well, why would I get out? Like this is the most popular group on the internet.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But like, whatever was telling me to get out, man. Like I honestly think it was God, right? So I'm just really glad that I'm out of there, and I feel like free almost. Like I feel like I've escaped from prison in a way.
Wow.
So it feels kind of good, but I just don't like it when people like come up with this, like I said, conspiracy theories about, oh, why did Big Nick get kicked out of the Vlog Squad? Oh, maybe it's because of this. Oh, maybe it's because of that. It's like, dude, I'm just going to say something about this.
Well, yeah, it's not okay too that no one else said anything to clear your name either.
Yeah, that was messed
and
up.
I was hoping
there's
that
two
would be
parties
the case,
here
like,
that, yeah.
And I feel like David kind of owes you an apology for not only allowing people to speculate and stuff, but I mean, look, he enabled a really toxic workplace situation for you that
it's not just workplace, it continues outside to the real world when fans would come and make fun of you in real life. Like
because that's just
I
mean, you deserve respect as much as anybody there, and I feel like,
and I appreciate that, and honestly, that does mean a lot because like that's all I just wanted to hear is like, dude, you deserve respect just like everyone else. And it's like the fact that I couldn't even like get that respect. It's like, dude, what is the point of all of this? You know, like it just didn't make any sense.
But I don't think like Nick was even commenting on David's Instagram post, not even like it was like 2.5 months ago. I believe that
this post here.
Yeah.
Someone said David looks like Kalu's dad. And then Big Nick said, heard you're looking for me. What, the joke is that he's Kalu? Am I saying that right? Kalu? Caillou. I guess David's perfume commented? Dude, come on, chill out. David has like this perfume and it's commenting on all of his posts. Like, come on. David's perfume laughing emoji? Well, why is perfume laughing emoji? Your perfume, you don't emote. It should just be a bottle of perfume every time. That's hilarious.
I sympathize. I feel for Nick. I really do. But
that's like Teddy Fresh commenting on all your posts with crying and laughing emojis. Sorry, that's a little corny. If it was just perfume bottles, I'd be fine with it.
Everyone in the vlog kind of built off their Viner personality. And Big Nick, you know, he made some videos about dwarves. He collabed with other creators, Lance Stewart. Did bits about dwarfs, and I'm not saying that it's okay what David did if he felt that way, but David probably assumed it was okay because they all rip on each other, and even Nick's mom was in the videos, like playing along, like she would play along with the bits. Like there, I have right here. There's a little compilation, just 2 short videos where
AB's going in, dude. Okay, I'm here for it. Big Nick's mom apparently in on this gag.
Nick, introduce us to your mom.
Guys, this is my mom.
Hi. Do you have any things to say about Nick that you've never told anyone before?
Your vlogs are so amazing. I'm an old woman and I just watch them.
Do you get angry when I make fun of Nick in the vlogs?
No, because I don't. No.
No?
No, you're nicer to him than I am.
My mom calls me dumb shit every day.
Really?
It really gets to your
Only
head.
when you do dumb shit.
This vlog is actually sponsored by Big Nick Productions.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, you did a Best Friends for Life?
We did. It was cute.
Don't you watch this video?
By the way, he said that he feels bad because he didn't talk to anyone about how bad he was feeling, including his mom. So I'm not sure that this really means anything. She's just being a supportive mom.
Right.
No, let me finish that.
Are you writing a book about Big Nick?
I'm almost done.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a coloring book?
By the way, she never made fun
What
of
can
his
you
height.
possibly write about Big Nick?
Nah, that.
She's just going along.
Yeah, she's just being a nice
be a good
mom.
sport.
But that's what I'm saying is that they just went along with it. Like an example, when we were
She's
talking.
just supporting her son. Come on. She's
Okay,
just
but-
supporting her son, AB. Come on, man.
AB, I don't think you've ever been in a situation of like abuse.
Have you ever been abused,
Honestly,
AB?
It's just
Before
that
you joined the show?
Physically or mentally?
Yeah.
Either one, have you?
No.
No. Okay, so
Got some ass whoopings, but no.
I can tell from personal experience that when you're in an abusive situation, you can go along with it at the time because you don't know
Right.
better. You think you want it. So it's not that black and white. And those arguments right now are just kind of, it's like the typical shit that people say. It's like, oh, you went along with it. He wanted it. It's like
the victim. I'm not going to call you a victim, but it's like how they rationalize.
It's rationalizing basically a toxic situation that shouldn't have happened. I don't know that this is that bad.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to make it more serious than it is, but I just see, something that to me, it's obvious that something that was toxic and Nick is still trying to come to terms with it. And he himself is still not even fully over it.
Right. I agree. What I'm saying is I could see how David possibly overlooked it when he's dealing with 20 other people every day.
Yeah, fine. You can overlook it for a certain amount of time, but when you are becoming successful, you get a lot of responsibilities too. And one of them is starting to become more professional. And
Considerate.
you have to become more considerate. You have to understand that this is a business. And while you're making tons of money, you also need to be responsible towards the people who are helping you make that money. And you can't be like in the mentality of a kid, just like, hey, I'm just having fun and this is all of a sudden successful. It's like, okay, maybe for the first few months, but once you're making millions and this is a huge business and you're getting really famous, you also have a lot of responsibility.
Well, yeah, and the amount of eyeballs on Nick. He said like he would go out in public and people would make fun of him. It's like, fuck.
I don't think Nick signed up to being made fun of in public every time he gets recognized.
He consented, but like he's in this situation where
you don't necessarily know what you're consenting to.
I agree with Elo's perspective on this. And I'm not saying David's a bad guy, but he definitely has this tunnel vision and he's just so set on success and fame and doing that. I don't think he thinks about collateral damage. He's like a bull in a china shop or something, like they say, and he's just charging forward and not really looking out at the collateral damage. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's just super motivated and not very compassionate. Thoughts?
I agree with everything you guys are saying. Yeah, I'm just saying, like, from his point of view, especially at his age. But you're right. With power comes responsibility, as he gets bigger. But, just so much going on with them all having their own vlogs as well. They all have their own vlogs that feature David in them and vice versa. And they're all making similar jokes. I'm just saying I could see how he overlooked it. And when Nick said as soon as he did tell David
he cut him out.
He said he apologized. But
he apologized and then he never had him in another video.
Yeah. I mean, David is not stupid. He's a smart guy. You apologize to make it go away.
Well, I think that's more about Nick becoming like a born again Christian because he like.
You think that happened right at the same time? I don't know.
Yeah, because he said like he used to take part in witchcraft. He used to say that's
who? What? Say what? What about spirit cooking?
This is stuff he used to take part in the vlogs and stuff. He's just saying.
Oh, he renounced it as witchcraft?
Yeah, he referred to it as witchcraft.
Witchcraft is dope. I want to get into some witchcraft.
I'm confused. Wait, actual witchcraft, or he was just using that as like a metaphor for the negativity of what they were doing?
What kind of witchcraft they doing there?
Yeah, what kind of like are they summoning demons?
Well,
Like, what's
I believe he was referring to the negativity, but he was saying like he took part in partying and well, he used the words witchcraft. I mean, I don't know if there's some other biblical meaning that I don't know. That
cabal shit going on in the
tube of demons. We got a tube of demons over here. We got a.
I'm healed in the name of
Well,
Jesus.
anyway, I understand. Look, I don't think there's much more to say about it, but I think David needs to be more compassionate. He needs to be more thoughtful with how he used people, because he's very clearly using people. And even if they consent to it, he's in this position of such power and so much influence that if he misused people, then he can really fuck them up. And like when Nick's going out in public and he's getting abused and stuff, they deserve more consideration. That especially someone like Big Nick, who's like, the dude has a disability. It's not like, oh, he's dopey. It's like the guy has a fucking disability. I don't know. I'm sure that doesn't feel good, dude, to be always like, I don't know.
No, I think Dave,
have you ever been body slammed by 220 pounds of pure fucking force? I'm describing Trisha body slamming in WWE style. She told me she's 220. She said she's 220.
And you said 240?
No, I said 220.
Oh.
Have you ever been body slammed by 220 pounds of pure fucking force of God?
No.
No, you're about to get me. You're about to feel it.
I do want to say just real quick, if I can, that I was a part of a group in college. Like I grew up, I didn't grow up around other Arabs. I'm mixed. In college, there were other, I felt like I finally was part of something I belonged in. I was in this organization. I'll give you guys the fast version. And I basically left the group because there were some problems. And I know what it's like to be part of something and then to leave it and then see them still together. I know that's one of the most hurtful things in the world. So I do sympathize with Trisha. I really do feel bad for her. I know it sucks, but I'm not trying to make light of her situation whatsoever. I'm just trying to say that
I don't think her hurt has to do with the fact that she's not part of the group.
Well, there could. It's part of it.
You're burying yourself, bro.
I'm just
you're
saying,
going down in flames.
You don't think it bothers her?
Is it AB because he's an idiot?
You're gonna fucking die on Monday.
Be fired on Monday.
I don't think that has anything to do with.
I guess to be fair, she does stalk their Tumblr.
Yeah, she does stalk their Tumblr.
She stalks everyone.
But I think she's just praying for their downfall. Like sometimes it's like stalking your. It's like she just wants to watch them all their careers crash. I don't think they are. She tries to tell herself they are, but they're all doing really well. She goes, all their careers are dying. It's like no, they're all crushing it.
Because she's not evil. She's doing it because she's her.
Of course, AB.
That's what I'm saying.
I know that.
Okay. I thought you were saying that's not part of it.
I just think it's funny. You're going to get...
Well, don't be stupid.
Trisha doesn't even need to respond. We got her all on sound bites. Well, we'll see, because next week, on Friday, we have another call-in from the guy who was tricked into making out with Jason. And he's very upset about his treatment in the vlogs, both racial jokes and the thing. I can't speak to the racial jokes. That he'll tell us how he feels about that. But being tricked into making out with Jason is really disgusting. I would be upset by that. Mm-hmm. Also, you made him such a fool, like without your consent, and then you don't know what's going to happen, and then you say, "Oh, don't put that in the vlog," and then he does anyway. It's like, what the fuck is this? Why you like? You're here to like get all this attention and get all these views and get all this exposure. And David he uses your eagerness to be a part of something big and great. He uses that to fucking stomp on your face and humiliate you, AB.
But do you really think he didn't have consent for that? Like, even if he's not a good person, he said
he did not give consent. He said that in his video. The guy that he said, I did not give consent for that to happen. So, are you calling him a liar?
Yeah, I'll call that guy a liar.
All right, here we go. Let's get it on. Let's see what he has to say. AB, I appreciate.
Why? Why would you call him a liar?
I appreciate your willingness.
I believe Nick and Trisha are sincere.
Ooh,
but the other guy not.
Seth, you're full of shit.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh my God.
AB is not willing to pull the punches.
Okay.
What's your problem with this other guy who's calling in on Friday?
I don't have a problem. I don't know who the fuck he is. He was in. He was barely in the. I mean, like he was in videos, but I don't know. I'll talk it out with him.
Jay Springer.
Okay, how's he gonna make an exposed video? Like I don't want to talk on race. It's not my place. But how's he gonna make an exposed video saying that David set him up to do all these things and he was part of it and he perpetuated it, and then he's still making videos like that?
Wait, hold on. The one that really disturbed me was the kissing one. I don't know anything about the race. Ian or somebody, can you pull up the kissing video and then his response to it? Because this to me is really disgusting and makes my skin crawl. He says he did not have consent to that. AB says he's a liar.
They did it twice. Same two people.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So you know more about this than me.
Okay.
God, you're going to get killed in the comments, AB.
Maybe I have a problem trying to see the good in people. I don't know.
Well, wait. If you're trying to see the good in people, what about the guy coming out?
Yeah.
Who's saying he was abused? Why not?
Seth?
Yeah.
The guy on Friday?
Do you see the good in Seth?
What email did he email us
You're
from?
just an empath.
You are an empath.
Yeah, that's it. You know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it is. I can't be canceled because I have Joker brain.
Oh,
you can't plea that insanity card right now, bud.
We can only have one Joker brain on this crew.
Did you find it? Let me look into this.
You asked me about defending. You asked me this on Friday after we went off the air. You said, "How come you defend these people? What is that saying?" You said I defended you. I'm defending David.
Yeah,
and I thought about it.
Yeah.
And my knee-jerk reaction just goes, "Oh, that's just happen to be people that I believe in." But I believe it's in these situations, it's that they're being told one-sided. All those situations.
But you don't know David. You know what I mean? You don't know David. Like David, know David.
Right. But there are so many people, like I said, who are in that crew who are still loyal to him to this day.
You're right. That is a point. That doesn't necessarily mean that all this stuff is wrong, but
it doesn't mean that that the criticism isn't valid. Yeah. It doesn't mean that it's not toxic,
Right. I'm not saying that he's not the most evil motherfucker who ever lived. I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying that.
Wait, here's the vid.
Maybe awkward at first.
This is the guy that's calling in on Friday that apparently AB's room. I don't know if he's calling in anymore.
What's going on?
He's coming over. He's
it was the joke that they're both black and they just have a secret handshake? I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm not...
so long.
Why they just use this guy as a token to make a bunch of black jokes? You said he's not in the vlog about a lot? It seems like every scene he's in is just making some kind of black joke.
He's more Dom's friend.
Found out my friend Seth has a warrant for his arrest. And this is because
this was so fucked. You cannot... Dude... They took him to the police station and forced him to turn himself in. AB.
I'm not defending this, but I am curious. Ian, why would you set me up like this? What are you doing to me? Why would you send this video?
But you just go along with it because you're on that clout. I gotta get that clout.
Wait, what are you guys saying? I'm not following.
Okay, here.
So today,
in this video, Hila, they find out he has a bunch of parking tickets, and they drive him to the police station and force him to turn himself in. Here.
Station.
You're breaking the only friend code there really.
And what he does is he pays off all the tickets, which is nice, but I think it's very traumatic, and I don't think it's worth discounting like the fear of police of a young black man.
Yeah.
Seth? Yeah. I'm just gonna be pretty straightforward, okay? Fuck. What?
Every scene he's in is just playing on a black stereotype.
Going to the police station to turn you in.
I know, that's what I thought.
Don't worry, officers. We got it from here.
But you're joking, right? We're not going to the police station.
With the amount of overcrowding in jails right now, you'll get out in a couple weeks.
We're here at the Los Angeles Police Department.
What the fuck is going on?
It's not funny.
I want me to go in there myself, man. I'm not going in there. I have warrants.
So Alex has a scary old man mask.
So the fact that they actually get him to do it just shows the amount of Yeah, the amount of peer pressure that they can exert on someone, it's like supernatural.
That's why he has to become more responsible. He has a lot of power over people. It's a power dynamic.
Yeah. And you don't want to let David down because you're out. I bet that's the vibe. It's like you don't want to let David down. You have to be up for anything or you're fucking out of the squad.
How weird she looks in her outfit.
It looks so stupid.
By the way, why would they even do this to Seth if you say he's not even a big part of the vlog squad? Like, why are you fucking with this random dude who's just come to hang out?
And tell her that it does look weird and that I need to go and add some more padding to make her look more like an old man.
I gotta put padding, you look kind of dumb.
But instead of going to the room and adding more padding, Corinna is gonna hop out of the outfit and have Jason put it on instead. Corinna's taking these off now. I'm switching with Jason. He's like a porn.
Jason's such a fucking... Bro, why are you doing this?
Stop, Seth, look. Seth, look. Seth.
The stuff with Jason and those bits, one, I did not consent to those things. I did not. David also shouldn't have done it. Period. It's not right.
Oh, look at the
So he has a lot to say about that, apparently. AB?
Cancel David for the black humor. I'm all in. But I believe this guy is full of shit because he's still doing it after. Like,
what do you mean he's doing it after?
He's still doing like that. He's still posting TikToks where he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal this because I'm black." Like he's still making.
No, what about the making out thing?
Oh, the making out thing. Well, they did another video like that.
That's like saying, you know, rappers say the N-word, so I can't say the N-word. He's making racial jokes about himself. It's different. But I don't care. I'm not even talking about the racial thing because you can say he consented or whatever. But the making out thing, that's fucked up. You gotta give David a check, an X on that.
If that's real, that's fucking the most horrible thing I've ever seen.
What do you mean if it's real? Why are you just not believing him?
How did he? You think? Okay, I just is David like this super secret mastermind, or is he just this dumb kid who's just doing stupid shit? Because he did this to this guy twice with the same person, with Jason.
Wait, what do you mean twice? I see once. What was the second time?
He did it. I was looking for it right now. All I'm seeing is a reaction video of it. But
you're saying
maybe you mentioned earlier, why did I send this whole compilation? Because David has scrubbed this from the internet. You can't find it anywhere. So we have this montage.
Hey, I know.
And that's right.
Matt, why didn't you timestamp it? So
Wait, hold on.
I wrote a timestamp.
That's a good point, Ian. And by the way, when I was showing some of this before, it was getting blocked worldwide by David Dobrik, trying to bury his skeletons. Huh? Why don't you believe this guy? I find that so odd. Why are you simping for David when this guy literally is out here saying, I did not consent to that? Listen to this. Listen to him.
Stop, look.
Dude, he's like hardcore making out with a dude. I mean, that's a
the
lot.
Stuff with Jason and those bits, one, I did not consent to those things. I did not. David also shouldn't have done it. Period.
You what's to not believe?
It happened twice. Like the guy.
Okay, so what?
Maybe, I don't
Go on. Why do you think he's lying? He's saying,
this is why David will never be held.
The guy was in there, the same guy that was in that situation. He's saying, I did not consent. What else do you need? I don't understand.
Well, he thinks he's a liar. I don't know why.
Well, then you're just victim shaming.
I'm saying that all David's.
Let's just support the abuser over the victim.
All his bits are set up. All his bits are set up. I mean,
so what?
Okay, but hold on. So you're saying that he knew that he was making out with Jason from the beginning, most likely.
So wait. Let me ask you this.
Based on what? Based on
why
what would you know that?
Second time? Why would he do it a second time?
I don't know that there was a second time. You haven't showed me that.
But I'm saying like it's the same.
Where's the second time? You keep saying it happened the second time.
Because he thinks he's gonna make out with the girl. That's what they told him.
If it happened the second time, it's probably because David thought he wanted to fuck with them again and show how dumb he is, because that he could do it to him a second time.
Ian just sent a link.
Oh, we got a link?
He said it's because I think it's been scrubbed, but this is a reaction video to it. So
that might be the deep in the guts, bye.
Not too long after that, I had an idea to pull the prank on him again, so I thought it would be fun to blatantly ask him for consent. Do I have permission to try to prank you again and get you to make out with Jason?
I'm very confused by that, because how the hell could you be so confident to tell me that I have to consent to something that I'm not going to know that I'm going to do?
This is how we were going to do it.
That wasn't a yes, by the way. That wasn't a yes. Right?
That was not a yes.
lab to see if they would help me make a fake beef jerky commercial. We created a fake production company that created a fake script.
So we're about to send out this email to Seth for this beef jerky commercial.
Fake beef
He did, however, say in David's defense, I'm going to try to get you to make out with Jason again. And he didn't say no. So, there's that.
This is not real. But we're offering $2,500,
which is also not real.
Which is also not real.
We created a fake
Dude, these
website.
reactors don't even exist to me. Isn't that interesting? Like, these people made a whole fucking video, and like, I don't even know they're there. Like, what are they doing? What kind of content is this? I don't even fucking know they're there, bro. In fact, can I just zoom in on the little video on video? Watch, I won't even realize they're there. This is awesome. Okay. Where were we?
To go along with the fake production company.
I mean, this thing is entirely functional. If I click on Learn More, it's going to show a page with all of the clients that we've worked with.
And within 2 days, Seth responded to his fake audition with a real audition tape.
I'm here with Seth, Link's auditioning for the part. What a fucking moron.
We gave it a couple hours, and then we gave him a call with some really exciting news.
Welcome to the Beef Jerky family, man. We're super, super excited to have you.
A couple days later, it was time for the shoot, so we hired 3 women to play the sexy Sasquatches so that Seth wouldn't notice when Jason switched out with one of them.
Jason, have some respect for yourself, bro.
14
God.
crew members, along with the director, producer, assistant director, makeup crew, and audio technician. And this was all happening while the rest of us sat in a tiny trailer outside the house watching his every move on a tiny screen. We wanted to make sure that Seth believed the commercial was real, so we shot it just like it was planned, and then we slowly transitioned into the prank. And this is how it turned out.
Clear action.
Damn, that's bomb beef jerky. Ooh, hell yeah. He's sitting on the couch. He's loving the jerky. He's passed out. And now he woke up in a love bed. Silk sheets. Oh, a hot monkey suit comes and starts feeling him. Why a monkey? It's beef jerky. What's the monkey got to do with it? Okay.
A Sasquatch, I think.
Oh, Sasquatch. So the monkeys are making out. He's having a monkey threesome. It's hot. It's happening. There's a monkey entering the stage. Oh, he's burying his head in the monkey tits. Pretty elaborate. They are really fucking with this guy. There's like a whole room of people in the back watching.
Who is that? Is that with Jason?
So Jason gets in and starts like full on making out with him.
It's so good. Super hot.
Why is he?
Super sexy.
What?
Super Sasquatch sexy.
Why is he making out so hard?
Yeah.
For the beef jerky commercial.
I understand, but
Yeah, we got-
they're getting way too into it.
That's what I'm saying, though. It's
You think it's fake?
Who would believe this?
Interesting.
You guys are the masters of calling out fake pranks. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't look that believable, actually.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he be paranoid too after?
Right.
And David's there filming. Why is he involved in the beef jerky? Well, let's see the reveal.
It's a prank, bro.
That is insanely elaborate, I have to say. Well, we'll have to get his perspective on Friday. That's interesting.
Mind you, at the moment, right now, he has 15K YouTube subscribers.
All right, let's not talk like. Come on, that doesn't matter.
No, I'm not talking about numbers. I'm just saying, why would he? I'm not expecting
that. If anything, goes to the point that he's. By the way, these reactors have not said anything. They're literally sitting here. I am watching this video entirely independent of them. It's amazing. Look at these idiots.
They're not idiots.
Okay, fine. I'm just okay. God bless them. With peace and love. You haven't said a fucking word. What kind of content is this? Thank you for uploading though, because we couldn't find it anywhere else.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
That second time, I gotta give it to you on AB. I think I. Thoughts, Hilo?
Yeah, I can see your point that he probably knew what was happening when he was making out with him the second time. I don't think he was surprised.
Right. But could we chalk that off to David's manipulative kind of peer pressure-y stuff? The first time seemed to be legitimately like, yo, what the fuck was that? The second time he was playing into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Before we move on, since I'm already being canceled.
Oh my God. Okay.
For for what's last of the audience, I just want to say I'm not victim shaming. I believe the numbers never have to be in your favor. You should come forward. I'm just saying, in this situation, it's a little bit unique because they're all in like a prankster house with a bunch of pranksters who all have 20 cameras out.
Right.
I feel like they'd be a little bit more aware. That's all. God bless. Bye, Sad Boy 2005.
You're not gonna
Rest
score
in
any
peace,
points now.
AB.
Good luck, AB, because you're gonna fucking need it.
You know, we did an episode yesterday talking about the thing is we were having this internal debate about the whole David Dobrik situation because we had Trisha obviously has a lot to say about him, and then Big Nick came on and did an interview. Today, actually, we have Seth calling in too at 1 o'clock in about an hour to discuss his time with the Vlog Squad, and we've been having this internal debate because David has been, David AB has been defending David. Or offering this alternative perspective on the situation, and then while we were all arguing about it because we disagree with AB, but I thought it would be interesting to bring the conversation on the air because I think it's interesting because you get to see the perspective of people because there's a lot of people obviously that AB is obviously not alone in defending David. I mean, David's a super popular guy. He has a ton of fans. He doesn't really get that much shit. So I thought, if we're going to come here and shit on and just like have all this content about David, we should have, I mean, if we have someone on the cast who has an altering perspective, we should have that discussion. I mean, you know what I mean? Seems fair in theory, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, he attempted to, I don't know if I would say defend David, but give his perspective on matters. People were not too keen on it. Let's just put that lightly. He got a lot of heat. People were getting ready to bust, dude, when AB, how are you feeling? I mean, it took a lot of heat yesterday.
Horrible.
You feel horrible? In short?
Yeah. In short, I feel horrible. Yeah. I put together something I want to say. I don't know if I should say it now or.
You expected heat going into yesterday. I mean, we all kind of warned you, but obviously this was beyond what you expected.
Right, and I guess I deserve it because the way I phrased it was very stupid. I was very arrogant in how I phrased it. I wasn't prepared to speak the way I wanted, and yeah.
Now I'm getting a little worried already for you because you say it's the way you phrased it. Because I'm not sure it's the way you phrased it. I think it's just what you said.
Right, what I said. Well, then maybe I should read what I wanted to say.
Uh-oh, Trisha's here. Did you expect Trisha to make a whole video dedicated to you and like TikToks dedicated to you? I mean, that's pretty high level beef.
Right.
I mean, I knew she'd be upset, and it was stupid of me to think that I could defend David without offending her.
Oh, you actually thought you wouldn't offend her? Damn, bro.
No, I mean, I figured she'd get mad, but...
All right, well, let's break it down, because I feel like... I feel like we should figure this out. Yes, something is about to bust. So AB has prepared a statement, okay? Uh-oh.
I love that.
Can you turn AB up a little bit? I don't want to miss anything here. Okay, AB. So go ahead with your statement. I may stop you at some point to discuss certain issues. We could take it from there.
All right, bear with me. I'm being sincere with this. I want to start by saying that I was completely wrong for the statements I made. I believe that my intentions were pure and rooted in doing the right thing, but I'm sure the majority of people have done something wrong. Believe that. I'm sorry to everyone who is offended. Sincerely, I can't tell you guys how much it hurts knowing I let so many people down. I never meant to victim shame, but unfortunately, I realize now that my arrogant actions came off that way. I was trying to play devil's advocate because I thought it was the right thing to do, but unfortunately, I didn't realize how deep the conversation would go, and I was not educated on the severity of what I was speaking on. I was raised by 2 lawyers, and maybe that's why I felt the need to take the stance of innocent until proven guilty. I'm now trying to...
Whoa. So again, so maybe I should...
No, I'm
go ahead. I'm not gonna interrupt you.
My next statement said, my next sentence says, which was completely wrong. I'm not defending my actions. I'm just trying to understand them for my own sake. I have no right to speculate whether someone is telling the truth or not. It was extremely arrogant of me to insinuate that someone speaking out is doing it for malicious reasons. I didn't completely believe certain individuals based on their past actions. I now realize that this is the typical behavior of someone who is victim shaming. This is the behavior of someone who is ruthless and sensitive and just flat out evil. These are all the terms that
But you're not
I never
evil.
thought. Well, I don't disagree with people who may see me that way because of what I said. I'm so grateful for all the beautiful people who kindly explained to me what was wrong with what I said. The only positive aspect of my bad take is the fact that I'm glad that it brought to my attention my own flaws, and hopefully it could help others be more cautious when talking about such a sensitive topic. The amount of nasty comments and hate I've been getting across all my social media is insane. I've been told multiple times to kill myself and that I should be fired. I may deserve the backlash, but deserve it or not, I'm still human and it hurts. Yesterday, I did something that I've never done before, which was call my mom just to hear her voice because of how sad I felt. I'm not trying to make myself a victim, but rather explain how I feel. In closing, I just want to apologize to Trisha and Nick and Seth and anyone else I offended. Trisha is right. I was not there. I was basing my opinion on others in the group who still continue to support David after years of working with him. I realize now that this is stupid of me because, again, I wasn't there. I now know that if someone is going to defend the other side, it should be someone that was there, not me. I'm sorry, Trisha, if I reopened any past trauma. You have been nothing but kind and welcoming to me personally. I was stupid to think I could defend David without offending you. Trisha, I fully support you, and I'm sorry for being insensitive. I know it may take time, but I will do everything in my power to show you that I will want nothing but good for you. I'm sorry I let run down. I will do better. Excuse my shaky voice, but I'm being sincere. That's all.
Wow. Wish we had the apology podium out. That was worthy of the great apologies of this in the show's history. Okay. You got some death threats. I know I saw your Instagram went private.
Yeah, I did. I felt bad. I felt bad, like Lena seeing it too. Like, yeah, a little rough. I mean, usually I consider myself to be a strong person, but last night I heard, I don't know if this is too personal. I heard Lena in the bathroom, like she was trying to hide from me, but she was tearing up, and that's kind of what broke me.
Lena was upset.
It's really hard. I know what it's like. I mean,
sad.
whenever Ethan would go through something, it would be really hard on me too. Which is why I always panic when I see him tweet, because I'm like, what are you tweeting? Are you ruining my life right now?
Those are past days, I hope.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there's always a little bit of PTSD.
Wait, why was Lena upset, AB? Like, what was upsetting her?
Probably to see
I tried.
this.
Yeah, I tried not to show her that I was bothered. But she was just frustrated, I think, because she's like, it's everything you're not. It's everything you stand against, and it's
yeah. No, poor Lena. She's an angel. She is an angel.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it, okay? Have you obviously you've reconsidered your position of some of the stuff you said yesterday? Do you understand why people are upset, right?
100%. Yeah.
Like, a lot of people were curious, like, why are you so quick to defend David against the first-hand account of, like, Nick and Trisha and Seth on video? It's odd that you would accuse 3 different people of lying, and for lack of a better word, and, to favor David.
Well, like I said, in my mind, I was thinking that I'm trying to give another perspective. And I wasn't even saying that I stand behind all those things. Maybe I should have phrased it as, well, someone would argue this. But again, I didn't say that Trisha and Nick were lying. I did make the mistake of saying Seth was lying, but I wasn't talking about him coming out. Or it was more about, I thought of it as me as looking at a fake prank. I thought I was saying that, I looked at it as saying the prank was fake, but I know now that was stupid of me.
But so even though you don't outright say someone's lying, that's the implication, right?
Right.
Because you're saying, that they're not being truthful about their account. You're doubting their account, right? I think people are upset because a lot of what you're doing is kind of what, victim shaming is. So.
Also, another point about it is that people who do on the side of victim shaming, a lot of times the argument would be like, they're lying, they're just doing it for clout or whatever. But that is so wrong, because to come out is like, as the victim, and to complain is like the worst thing you want to do. You get hate as the victim because whoever you're going out against has their own fans and they don't want to hear it. And so it just brings up a lot of, for anyone who's been through it, there's just so many misconceptions about it. No one would do it for the clout. Like, that's not a fun thing to go through. It's not like, ooh, okay, I'm going to gain some followers, and you're going through awful stuff when you do that.
And the thing is, for each one of you, there's like tons of people who don't believe them, right? Like more people that don't believe them than believe them. And so...
And how many fake victims are there who really fake abuse and just kind of like made up the whole story?
Very
Not a
small,
lot.
very, very small
Not
percent.
a lot.
I read a stat. I don't know how they calculated, but it's like 3%. It's like a very, very small percent of people that are not truthful about it. Which is not to say it doesn't happen, but
it happens, but the vast
in this case,
majority.
you have 3 people's accounts.
I'm not saying to like blindly believe anyone, but if anything, it's more logical to believe them than to not believe them.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you just follow, statistics.
It's not something. It's too serious to play the fence on. You can't just be,
exactly.
in saying. And I realize that now. And people, I really am grateful for the people who were nice in explaining it to me as to why it was offensive. And
There was also There was another thing you said about like they never said no. They didn't. They were there. It was all part. It was all like a sitcom. The problem with victims of abuse is that they usually hold a lot of guilt because they feel like it's their fault. Because it's so hard to say no or to pull yourself out of a situation or to know even that you're being abused until you're separated from the situation. So this is another like victim shaming tactic, is to be like they were there, they didn't leave the situation, they never said no. That's like a huge misunderstanding about abuse, is that it usually happens in situations where it's like, why didn't they just leave? People say that about like wives who are in this abusive situations. Why didn't they just leave? Because it's not that easy. It's complicated. There's lots of emotions involved. So that's a really, hurtful point to make when you say, they were all just kidding. Like, why were they in the vlogs? Why did they say it? You understand that point?
Yeah. No, I didn't say that they didn't say no, but I definitely insinuated it, which is just
well, then you did say it. You did say it. That's what you meant.
Right.
So I wouldn't say you didn't say it. I mean, that's what you meant.
Fuck you, AB.
Right.
Easy, Trisha.
Zach is loving it. Zach, are you loving this? As AB's friend?
No, as AB's friend, I feel really awful. Because everyone makes mistakes and whatever. I mean,
but did you get a lot of pleasure in hitting that button just now?
Oh, tremendous.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Zach texted me, "Who's the heartthrob now, bitch?"
That's funny.
No, but as a joke, Zach called me about probably 20 times in the past 24 hours.
Zach, such a sweetheart.
Yeah.
He was having, because I've somewhat been through this, not to this extent.
On the show, show cancellation, you got canceled for being
just
creepy.
For being kind of creepy.
Yeah, and like just the amount of shit people say to you is really awful. Like, just
it's so hard. It really is. You don't expect it to feel that bad, but it's like we all just want to be accepted by everyone, and when you go everywhere you go, there's comments following you of people who think you're the worst person on earth.
But it passes. I wanted to let AB know that it does pass. People, you know what I mean? Like, you'll be fine in a few days.
I understand that it passes, but
it feels bad in the moment, though.
The topic itself is just, it just hurts because of my background and stuff I fought for and believe in. It's just, it's exactly against what I've always stood for. I have a deep background in civil rights, and I've spoken out against this before, but I guess I wasn't educated enough, so I guess these conversations are good.
Let's make sure that we're on the same page. That's what I want to do. There's another thing about you said, like, it was like a sitcom and everything was a joke. Trisha had a lot to say about that, obviously. I wonder if we should watch her video, because she makes some really good points. Get ready. Buckle up, boys. She's talking fast. I knew she was pissed, by the way, when she was She was talking like, that was like the fastest I've heard her ever talk. Actually, I want to say before I watch this that I was very proud of Trisha because as far as her responses go, this was probably like her most calm and rational and reasoned response to something like this. So I was very proud of Trisha.
Except for maybe wanting to like kill AB.
Right. Well, there's always a little bit of, homicidal ideation. I mean, you can't take Trisha without homicidal ideation. Dude, 450,000 views, AB.
Whoa. I feel it.
That's crazy, bro. That's like a fucking...
And like, to my knowledge, I've never known of like two audiences from two large channels like coming down on nobody. Yeah, but I mean, maybe I deserve it, but...
Okay, so this is my...
Good.
I couldn't help but note that this video is 21 minutes long.
Yeah.
And Trisha's initial angry rant after the Instagram versus reality video about Ethan was only 18. So you actually beat
Ethan's
3
high
minutes
score
more.
here.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, AB, look, me and Trisha are friends now to this day. Look how far we've come. So, maybe friendship is in your future. I mean, I called her I told her she looked like a open casket funeral.
I hope so. I like Trisha. I really do. I'm not just saying that.
I fucking hate this guy so much.
She doesn't feel the same.
I feel like, if I can say, I think that it probably really just came from a place of lack of knowledge on this topic, and hopefully this really is just a moment you learn from it, and
we're all learning.
Yeah,
we're all learning about this is a good experience. We're all learning together.
Mm-hmm.
And something I want to point out before we continue is that look at her hands. Her hands are soaked in toner. She's in blackhand. She's done this before. No. It's unacceptable. Oh, no. Is she just like applying tanning cream to her body or something? Like, how does that happen?
It's the iodine and tanning lotion. It stains.
Why is she?
So you're more knowledgeable on tanning issues than.
But why did the tanning stick so much to her? Yeah, exactly. Why do you know exactly the point, Eli?
Because my pre-med background, I know about iodine staining.
Okay, Trisha, spill it.
Apply to the dumbass AB from the H3 podcast called David Dobrik Debate. Now he's a complete ass, he's a complete dumbass. Like, it's not even an asshole. He's a complete dumbass because he's actually a sweet in person. He's just an idiot.
Well, that's kind of a compliment, AB. She said you're not an asshole. You're just a dumbass. You're a sweet person. You just don't know anything. Thoughts?
I agree.
That's good. I mean, let's close the video. Why do we need to watch any more than that?
Yeah. So I'm only 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is a really good response for her. She comes out saying he's a nice person.
She gradually gets more.
Yeah.
She says she wants to kill him. She wants to fire him. If she sees you ever at my house, she'll quit the show.
She hates my smile. For some reason.
She hates your smile.
I get that a lot. Like on the quartering video, like one of the top comments is like, "God damn, I hate AB's condescending smile."
Oh, really? I never thought about it.
I smile because I get nervous, but yeah, I don't know. Something about my smile really pisses people off.
I cannot. His smirk.
Oh God, I didn't even think about it.
I didn't think about it.
Brutal.
41 seconds into it, and actually there's only 2 minutes so far he's talking about me, and already he's like, this is like a sitcom. No, dumbass.
2 minutes
no dipshit. This was my real freaking life. So let's
say what?
I was just noting that she just said she's only 2 minutes into the video.
Oh yeah, I do think it's worth noting that she stopped and started recording 2 minutes into the video.
And already he's like,
Thank
this
you,
is
Dan.
like a sitcom. No, dumbass. No dipshit. This was my real freaking life. So let's bring up the stuff he says. We're going a little hard on Jason. Jason, he has kids to feed and all that stuff like that. Let's remind.
Okay, so wait. Her sitcom point is good because you kept bringing that up. That like it's a sitcom, it's all exaggerated, and I think Trisha rightly counters that by saying it's not a sitcom. This is my real life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's true. That's kind of what everybody says is that like it's I think David wants people to believe it's a sitcom, but it's not really a sitcom.
I think if there were any lines, they got really blurry, and maybe maybe some stuff started out as like, oh, we're just kind of exaggerating for the fun, but like in a situation like Trisha, it seems like everything got way too blurry, and obviously
for everybody.
Obviously, she ended up in a hospital.
Right. She ended up
breakdown.
That was a really good point she said. She's like, it's not a sitcom. I ended up in the hospital. That was real.
Yeah.
So, right.
No, the sick. I agree 100%, and I was wrong. Like I said, the point I was trying to make, and I'm wrong, was that I was just trying to build an opposing view, and what I was saying was that some of the stuff they say and some of the characters they play is like a sitcom, like, and it's self-aware, and again, I'm just saying what I was trying to point out the other day. Like, people have characters, and like Dom, for example, Dom is supposed to be like a weed dealer, and he's supposed to be crazy or whatever. But then on his normal channel, he's like, oh, this is,
maybe some people play characters. I don't know, but like, it's definitely Trisha's not playing. I mean,
no, it doesn't dismiss what Trisha said. She's 100% right. She's 100% right.
I think the same is true for Big Nick and Seth, who we'll talk to later. All right, Trish, go off, Queen.
And everybody, once again, the main issue that I struggled with during our thing is him defending his best friend, Brandon Calvillo, who is 20 years younger than him, his best friend, who was dating a minor that they thought was completely okay. And I was exiled from the group because
I actually don't know what she's talking about here. Maybe I missed something, some chapter of the whole Vlog Squad thing.
David both made jokes with this girl who was a minor, asking sex about Brandon and saying it's completely okay. And not only do they stand by him, they did you have him in vlogs and stuff like that. AB is such an idiot. Then he goes on to say, well, Trisha also made jokes about wanting to, like, being obsessed with David and stuff like that. One, yes, they were jokes. Two, no one ever said that they were uncomfortable with it.
Oh, by the way, this point you made, I thought was, I didn't get it either. It's like, just because Trisha made jokes about being attracted to David doesn't mean that Jason wasn't actually trying to hook up with Tana. Like, I just was a weird way of excusing Jason's behavior.
I think almost every point I made that was the flaw in it is because when I'm trying to present another side, even if I don't believe it, I'm just trying to give another side. At the same time, I'm invalidating Trisha, and that was the problem. I realize that now, and yeah.
If you haven't seen, there are accusations that have come out against David Dobrik, Jason Nash, and kind of the general group called the Vlog Squad. Though I do also want to note that it feels weird calling everything allegations because there's literally video of some of the things. Right? And so essentially, those uninitiated to the kind of YouTube world, David Dobrik, massive creator, the people he has around him, the people he's brought up, referred to as the Vlog Squad, and in recent weeks, several former members have gone on the H3 podcast to air their concerns and accusations. With some creators like Nick Kiswani, otherwise known as Big Nick, saying that the group was toxic, it was cult-like, saying he was bullied and felt forced to participate in jokes making fun of his size at his expense, which led to other people thinking they could make fun of him for those reasons as well. But from there, the accusations get far more serious. And that's because we saw former member Seth Francois coming out and saying that he was assaulted during a prank that David pulled on him with Jason Nash in 2017. And as far as what is being described as a prank here, you have David asking Seth, would he be comfortable in a video kissing Corinna Kopf? But seemingly for this vlog as kind of the joke, Corinna would be wearing an old person mask and a costume, which Seth says yes, he's new to the group, he wants to help David, maybe also he's open to kissing Corinna, but instead of sending out Corinna to kiss him, David puts out Jason, who was a 45-year-old man at the time. And they end up actually making out for what feels like a while. It's then revealed, oh, Corinna's over there, oh, you've been making out with Jason Nash, everyone in the room's laughing, he's freaking out. Also, it appears that most viewers at the time might have thought this was kind of another scripted segment, a fake thing, which is why we actually saw David Dobrik in the comment section saying, for the people saying this is fake, are you out of your mind? Jason Nash in the comments congratulating Seth on what he called his vlog initiation. So with all of this, you had Seth saying to BuzzFeed News now, because this story has picked up more and more traction since the initial podcast, that yes, it did feel wrong at the time, but then the more that he thought about it, the worse it was. So he said he ended up calling a sexual assault hotline, explaining, they said it directly to me. They said, I'm sorry you were sexually assaulted, and I broke down. I called my mother and some of my close friends, and I said, I can't believe that happened to me. This is also not the only time that Seth got tricked into kissing Jason Nash without his consent. Seth said that around 2018, David kept asking him what it would take to make one of those videos again, but Seth kept refusing, saying he didn't like that video, that he didn't want to deal with that situation again. And so then, one day, David asked Seth to be in what he thought was a beef jerky commercial. Seth's excited, thinking this is a huge opportunity. And on the set, you had people dressed like gorillas, with Seth then told to make out with one of the gorillas, who turned out to be Jason Nash. So even though David knew Seth wanted no part in it, he did it again, and this, in part, ultimately led to Seth moving out of Los Angeles, with also the jerky brand that was used in that fake ad having to come forward to clarify that they were were not in a partnership with Dobrik and they do not condone what happened. Also, to be clear, with this coverage, we're not even covering every claim, every accusation. I mean, even with Seth, he said other things like he was made to participate in videos where racist jokes are made, as well as bits where stereotypes were used that he felt were insensitive, made him feel uncomfortable. Because while obviously that is still important, the primary focus is on the largest accusation, an assault accusation. Which, I mean, actually on that note, you had Seth explain to Insider why it was important to talk about this, saying his goal hasn't been to cancel anyone and that he actually tried to solve the situation privately with David by messaging him before he went on H3, but he never received a response. With him also reportedly saying that he never wanted to pursue legal action, but it's starting to feel at this point it might be his only choice. With him also saying, people were saying I betrayed David, but I feel like he betrayed me. I was very hurt, and even right now talking about it, it really makes you want to cry. They profited off of causing me a lot of mental trauma, which is something that really hurts to know. And as far as David and Jason's side of things, right now it doesn't appear that they're responding, at least as of recording this video. BuzzFeed and Insider saying they reached out, they haven't gotten a statement. I have also reached out to the two, have not received a response, which I will say it feels like is in general how David Dobrik handles controversies, just not addressing things, right? I mean, he has previously issued more general apologies for past offensive content, but this is in a different category. So it ends up making you wonder, I mean, one, what does the legal situation look like with Seth? But also, two, will Jason Nash and David Dobrik realize that the seriousness of this situation is different? It's in a different category. This is something that needs to be addressed, and there may actually be pressure on him to do so even if he doesn't want to, right? Because at the same time that this story is blowing up, we also see David in the news because his company Dispo, right, that social network that he's trying to launch, according to Axios, they just raised $20 million at a $200 million valuation. But with that said, that is where we are with this story now. And of course, pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts on all of this?
The first thing, like I really want people to understand is I feel like the videos that I put out got very misinterpreted by a lot of people. People kind of see me as attacking David or attacking Jason or attacking, individuals in the vlog squad. But what it really was about was me taking credit for the actions that I was also participating in within those videos. So I wanted to come out and say something to clear my own conscience from the things that I was doing and I was allowing to happen within David's content. But then it also brings up another conversation. This is also David's content, and he's the one that's coming up with the ideas, and he's the one that has the power and is asking people to participate in certain things. And there is a lot of pressure, when you're in the room and you're the only person of your skin color or your culture, and you're trying to represent in the right way, and you're constantly being pressured to do things that you might know are wrong and you are uncomfortable with. But, when I first got into the group, I was 22 years old. I just moved to LA. I was just looking for a cool group of friends that I could kind of work with and collaborate with, that I can also be friends and also, have some sort of other interesting activities going on with. And, that group, they were cool people when I met, and I liked what they were doing. And, I just started integrating myself. And then as I started integrating myself, I started being asked over and over again to kind of participate in bits that, can kind of come off being very culturally insensitive. And, I wanted to, apologize mainly to my own community, but also my family and my friends that are the same ethnicity that know,
You're talking specifically about racial stereotype jokes. For example, I remember there was a scene where you were at the friend's house and then they open a fridge and a bunch of watermelons fall out or something.
Yeah, exactly.
And so
and a lot of kids don't understand because these things, they seem like, watermelon is just, it's watermelon. Like a lot of people like watermelon. I also particularly enjoy eating watermelon, but there is racially charged ideals that are behind, trying to spin in a comedic way.
It's obvious they're making a racial joke.
Yeah. But I feel like a lot of kids that are 13, 14 years old that might be watching that might not really understand, and then they think oh, okay, well, when I'm David Dobrik, he does blackface and watermelon tropes and all these other things. Oh, I can do that with my black friend, and then I'm making some black kid in Cincinnati uncomfortable with his group of Caucasian friends because of the videos that I'm participating in.
Do you feel like he was pressuring you to kind of make these black jokes when you were around him? Was that because Nick, for example, said I was always under the pressure to be making little person jokes, and the minute I said I wasn't comfortable with that anymore, then I was kind of he didn't need me anymore. Did you feel that same kind of pressure?
Yeah, that is the pressure. It's not like, David's sitting there and honestly in this podcast, I want to be completely transparent and honest with everything that has happened in all these situations. It's not like David is sitting there like, oh, you have to do this. You don't do this, you're out the group,
Yeah, of course.
It's kind of like an unwritten thing where you see a pattern of people saying like, yo, I'm uncomfortable with this. Hey, bro, like this isn't really cool. That all of a sudden they just disappear and then they're not videos anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's a lot. It's weird. It's almost there's a pattern where it's like he exploiting people's vulnerabilities to make a joke out of it, and then once they start feeling uncomfortable with it because it is naturally exploitative. Like once they feel uncomfortable with it, then he just discards them. Just I don't know. Doesn't sit right with me.
And I can see like the pressure being so difficult because you're young, you want to make it, and they seem like the coolest kids in town. It's it's happening and it looks fun and they're popular, so you want to be a part of it.
Of course, yeah, it's exciting.
When I was in LA, after kind of dealing with that video with Jason, like the makeout video. It's like now millions of billions of people kind of are misconstruing like my own sexuality and how I feel about participating in something that he didn't have my consent for. So I end up moving to a different state to kind of get away from it. So it's not like people coming up to me left and right, bringing up a situation that is legitimately traumatizing.
Wow. So it was that hurtful to you, that whole thing that you moved out of LA?
Yeah.
Out of California.
He moved to Atlanta, yeah. Wow, I didn't realize that.
Wild.
So that's a good segue because I wanted to ask you about the kissing videos. So, first of all, like that kissing video, the first one.
Yeah.
That always struck me as so mean-spirited and messed up. So, tell me about, first of all, that experience for you, how it played out and how you felt, and the reaction and everything. And what was it? What was the video?
Yeah, so it was a video where David set up with Jason Nash and Corinna and said that I was supposed to do a makeout scene with Corinna and had Jason was going to have Corinna in an old man mask while I was making out with her, and then switched her out with Jason Nash.
Right.
So my experience and my perspective from the situation, I was literally like just getting off a flight, just got into town. I was like super exhausted from traveling. I go over to David's apartment. Well, he calls me to come over. He's like, yo, can you come over? Like, I need you for a bit. And this is kind of like when I was just starting to kind of hang out with them. So I'm just like, okay, David's like asking for something that seems pretty serious. He must really need me there. So I'm going to go and I'm going to, instead of just going home, getting some rest, I'm going to stop by his apartment and then I'm going to go home. And then I get into the room. David, he's a very convincing person. He was very calm and everything seemed normal. And he was just like, yeah, like we just have this scene, like I want you to like make out with Corinna. And, like, are you cool with that? And I was just like, yeah, no, I'm fine with making out with Corinna. Like, that's fine. I don't understand exactly what this bit's for, but I'm just trying to basically just get it over with so I can, go home and get some rest. And then, during the video, we kind of start the makeout, starts going, and then it's going on for a decent period of time. And then after Jason pulls off his mask, and I realized that, I just was touched by someone that, I did not, consent to having their tongue. And I'm sorry, it is a little bit hard to kind of like talk about this because like this situation, I know a lot of people because also I'm a man coming out about something that's like a sexual battery, sexual assault type of situation. So it's kind of hard to believe, a person that is speaking about something like this. But basically, after he took off the mask, I was, it was a split decision. I was like, it's one or two things, like either do your natural instincts and be the angry black guy in the room and start yelling at everyone and get physical or whatever that might entail, or I can kind of just, you know, go along with it, and, you know, maybe I'll have some new friends that, you know, will support me in my ventures moving forward. And I made the decision to just kind of go along with it, not understanding what the repercussions would be, and also not understanding, you know, how much, you know, 10 million people are that's seeing something that I'm personally not comfortable with. And I say that not to say I'm not comfortable with like homosexuality. It's just, even if I was homosexual and then they switched out the costume for a girl, that would
You were
still
misled.
be wrong.
Yeah, totally.
It's just not what you consented
It's totally sexual battery. I agree with it. And by the way, the fact that you played along with it, I just want to tell you that in no way invalidates your feelings. You know what I mean? They put you into the spot. They surprised you. They did something really uncalled for. You know, uncalled for, to put it lightly. I mean, if that happened to me, I would be just. You were sexually assaulted by Jason. I really do think so. Yeah. And so the fact that you played along with it does not invalidate your feelings at all.
And it's really hard, and I really want the viewers to understand, it is so incredibly tough as a man to have to say that you were sexually assaulted by a man. The amount of trauma that you deal with, you don't even want to explain it to like your family and your friends and your, because even my own family was like looking at me like, oh yeah, you probably just said that was okay, you know, like there's no way someone
people don't believe you.
That's what's so frustrating about the way victims are treated. And sometimes it's even their own family members are not going to believe them. It's really difficult,
especially men. I feel that. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that, but like it's hard for men to get wrecked when this happens. It is. People tend to be even more distrustful of men. I know women get a lot of distrust these days when they come out, but like.
Yeah, and it happens. It happens completely on both sides. Like I don't want to take.
Yeah, I don't want to take away, but I know what you mean.
You know, it's just, you know, the reality of the situation is, you know, it does like affect your confidence as a man. You know, you start kind of questioning yourself, and, you know, with trauma, you know, people are wondering like, oh, well, why are you kind of coming out, you know, 2-3 years later, like communicating about
that's normal. That's so normal, dude. It takes time to process.
Yeah, I shut down for 2 years, and like people would bring it up to me in public, and then I would just, you know, basically ignore it. Like, oh, well, you know, at least, you know, like I have, you know, friends that, you know, are doing cool stuff, you know, like that's probably why they're just trying to bring this up to try to like bring me down. But in reality, the situation was so traumatizing that I was just trying to act like it just didn't even exist.
Yeah. And that's very common, you know. And by the way, the fact that it was viewed by 10 million people compounds, you know, I'm sure that makes it a lot more difficult when the whole world saw it too, you know.
Yeah, and it's like now it's not internal trauma. Now it's like the only way to kind of combat this trauma is to be public about it and to talk about it openly to everyone so that they understand, like, please, if you see me in public, please, if you're in my DMs, like, do not bring this up. Do not talk to me about it, because I'm trying to get peace with myself about being involved in something like that. And sometimes you almost victim blame yourself. You're like, well, I shouldn't have been there, or, you know, well, I chose to have them as friends. But, you know, at what point is it where it's like, well, David Dobrik should not have chose to force a 50-year-old man to put his tongue into another man's mouth without their consent, man or woman.
Honestly, dude, if I was just at a friend's house and there weren't videos involved and they pranked me like that, I'd probably, I don't know if I'd be friends with them anymore.
That's the thing, that when there are cameras involved, you also don't want to look bad, and you want to play along.
I'm not saying that to dismiss you. I'm saying that because it's like even just on a friend level, that prank is so fucked up to do. But does it bother you? Do you ask yourself, like, why did he do it to me? He specifically called you. You were not you. He said, "Come over." They specifically thought of you for this prank.
Yeah, I have no idea why, and I definitely have thought, you know, many different reasons of what it could have been. But you know, at this point, you know, with how much I see David and Jason kind of dodging things, you know, like, I don't know if Jason was secretly sexually attracted to me and wanted an excuse to, you know, have a sexual act with me without me knowing, because if they knew that I would say yes to that, why would they have not asked? They knew I would, like, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
And then it would never happen.
Oh, that's a gross thought.
Yeah. And any sort of like evidence, you know, it's like they should be able to prove that they had my consent. There should be a video, there should be a contract, there should be some sort of paperwork. And the only thing that David has is in the second video, which I feel like is racially charged, because he has me making out with a group of gorillas in a room, which is also something that is race driven.
So wait, I want to talk. Actually, let me set up the second video because I want to ask you about that. By the way, I just before I do, I did notice when you guys were Jason got so into it. It was like like how does Jason do that? Which is probably it was just so messed up, like, how he like went in on it.
Probably made it feel even more abusive.
Yeah,
that's how it's like.
Yeah, and then it's like I'm hearing other things like, you know, about Jason, you know, through certain credible sources that, you know, he's sleeping with, you know, 17-year-old girls at VidCon and, you know, other people that, you know, have different experiences with him where they feel like Jason has been very creepy and touchy with them.
Yeah, that's what Trisha says about him.
And then it makes me feel like, okay, maybe this is like, I don't know if you're, you know, like sexually turned on by watching this video. And then if you go right now, I called David about, I think it was sometime in February or March. And, you know, I politely asked him, you know, I was like, I understand, like, everyone makes mistakes and, you know, I don't feel like you hate me and, you know, all this other stuff. But, you know, I need you to take these videos down because they legitimately have caused me so much trauma. I just want to try to get away from it. And then he, you know, offers to pay me money to keep the videos up. And then at that moment, I realized, like, he's not a friend. And then I look a month later, and then the videos are unlisted on his channel, so people could still watch it as long as they have the link instead of just privating it and taking it down.
So the second one is still up, by the way.
Yeah, and the first one is still up.
Oh, that's another thing that.
Wait, it is still up, or it's?
I watched them yesterday. I didn't have any trouble finding them on his channel.
Huh.
Yeah, it's on an unlisted link, so it's not going to pop up.
Oh, so it's like in a playlist or something?
Wait, I think the second one is public. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys in back, but I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. They'll look into that. But the fact, that's what Big Nick said, is that people, whenever David doesn't want something on video, he tries to buy them out. Like, instead of respecting their wishes, it's like people say, I don't want this. I don't want this out there. And instead of respecting their wishes and understanding that it makes them uncomfortable, he turns it into a money thing. And money is power, right? That's influence. He's trying to influence them to do something they don't want to do. Like how much...
Especially when a friend is telling you that they're dealing with legitimate pain.
Yeah.
And then your next motive is to be like, oh, well, how much money do you want?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to keep it up. It's like, I don't want the money. I want respect.
It's disrespectful.
Yeah.
So let me move on to the second video, because you had this first video where they quote unquote prank you, where Jason pretends to be Corinna and makes out with you. And so a lot of people point to the second video as they say, well, this is proof that he was in on it and it's not that big of a deal, because they did a second video where they pretended to cast you in a beef jerky commercial, and then Jason comes out as a gorilla and makes out with you, basically in the same style they did the first one. And so, and he says to you, I remember specifically, he says, do I have your consent to try to get Jason to make out with you again? And so tell me about how that video kind of played out and how you feel about that second video.
Well, David was sitting there and we were sitting almost for like 20 minutes, and he was talking to me about, he was like, yo, I want to do that prank again. I kept saying like, no, I don't want to have to go through that again. I don't want to deal with, you know, the repercussions of having all these people know, like that other video people are just starting to forget. I just want to keep it moving and not, you know, be involved in any sort of content like that anymore. And then David kind of keeps like, come on, man, like, you know, like what if, you know, how can I get you to you know, want to oh, sorry about that. Want to, get your consent for this. And what people don't understand, in that moment, I never gave him my consent. I said,
yeah, I did notice that.
Expecting to do something to me that I don't know that you're going to
That's all he included from you saying no?
Yeah, and you said what?
Because you're in your recounting of the story, you're saying you said, no, I don't want to do it. But then all he included was that clip of you saying,
how do you expect to do something to me that I don't know how you're going to do? And then after the cameras are off, because our reality isn't just 4 minutes and 20 seconds, I was telling him on the couch at the apartment, David, please don't do that again.
Oh, my God.
And then he just does it again, and he sets it up this time as this commercial where collab is involved. I guess Jack Link's beef jerky was involved in it, and then also David, Jason, and this time not Corinna.
Wait, was the beef jerky actually involved?
I don't know. I have no idea if that was like if that video, and that's something.
Wouldn't that be insane if they actually paid him to do that video?
To use their brand like that, I feel like it
I
could
have
work.
to assume it's not, but
not what
they're not involved. But at the same time,
I don't know.
Their name is still part of it.
Because even myself, I'll have to admit, I hate to admit that when I watched that second one, I was doubtful. I thought maybe Seth is in on this one because he says from the beginning that he he didn't say, it was like the way that he cut it made it seem like you were in on it.
Yeah, it's like real fast. And,
that's crazy. That's so dirty.
Yeah, you're not thinking about it. You're not thinking like you just want to watch the video. You're not like, oh, well, is this actually something that could be criminal?
I did notice that you never consented, though.
Yeah, we did notice.
I said when I watched it, notice he didn't say yes.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. This leads me to kind of my next thought is that, did he know how badly the first video bothered you? Because why would he go to do it again?
Even just on a personal level as a friend.
Yeah, so when I explained to him while he was trying to get my consent with the second video, obviously it's like how people don't see it. It's like he's like the boss, he's the authority figure. He's the person that's in charge. And it's like, you're going to kind of talk to your boss a little differently than you're going to talk to someone who's just your friend, So I was just trying to communicate with him, like, I really didn't like that. Like, please don't do it again. Like, I'm not, interested in being involved in any sort of content like that. I feel like it's wrong, X, Y, and Z. And, like I couldn't really approach the situation like, hey, bro, if you do that again, like I'm fucking out, But
you had expressed like, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
And so I find it really interesting because like the fact that he sought out to do it again to you, it has to be in some sense that he knew that you didn't like it and that made it more entertaining to him. That he thought that it was better to try to get you again because you were so unhappy about the first time.
Yeah, and you see that pattern, someone's like, oh, I'm afraid of snakes, and then he comes in with a snake. Oh, I don't like firecrackers. Oh, we're about to put you in a room with a bunch of firecrackers. It's like all these different things that, might be...
Hey, I don't like sexual assault.
Yeah.
Let's assault you again.
I don't like being sexually assaulted. And,
I mean, ironically, it's proof that he knew you didn't like it, right? It's proof that he knew that that you were not down. And so the second time around... So basically, you guys had this, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys had this brief conversation about it. And then how long passed before this commercial took place?
It was about like 2 months.
So you completely forgot about it. You had no suspicion.
No suspicion at all. Like the emails were official. Like I made a website and everything. So it was just like 100%. And I'm sitting there, like, driving from like my grandma's house in Compton to be involved in all these videos, kind of, looking for something that could kind of be a break to kind of get me to the next level. And I'm like, oh shit, I just booked a commercial, like hanging out with David and all this other stuff. This is awesome. Like, I'm super excited about it. I'm calling my family like, hey, like I'm about to be in a commercial. Like, this is painful. Good. And then, we call like my family and be like, no, I just basically got sexually assaulted again.
Oh my God.
I'm laughing because it's so fucked up.
It's so fucked up.
Yeah, and I same thing, like I understand, like, like it you know, I understand what people think is comedic about it. Like, I get it. You
No,
know,
I'm not. I don't think it's comedic. I'm laughing at how fucked up it is. I genuinely just. It's like you thought you were getting a big break and you ended up getting sexually assaulted. Like, it's just.
The problem
It's absurd.
also is that, like, as a stunt, it was really impressive what they pulled off.
Right.
And I feel like that's part of the problem. It kind of like blurs the bad side that comes with it. But like the bottom line of the joke is so wrong.
Right.
You
The
know,
video
the
is so
production
impressive.
and everything is
Yeah.
really impressive. But what is the bottom line?
Right.
What is it all for?
That's a great point.
Huge expense, you know.
Here's a clip of you confronting David and Jason about the Seth prank and telling them you weren't comfortable with it.
It's just crazy how people found this because I totally forgot about this clip.
And then David's response to you was really interesting. Here, watch this.
What about you, Trisha? What do you have to complain about?
Nothing. I have nothing. I have a lot to complain about, but I'm not going to because Jason will get mad at me.
I'm not gonna get mad at you. Go ahead. What's wrong?
No, I get yelled at by Jason all the time, so I'm not going to.
What? When did I yell at you?
Saturday. Oh, I think we should just break up if you're gonna react like this. Like every time I see anything, he threatens to break up with me. I just don't think so. I'm so happy right now.
I'm so happy right now.
See, I have it working perfectly. She was upset that I was going to make out with Seth, and so I flipped out.
You being mad about the Seth.
Well, that's not true. I was
being
here.
mad about the Seth makeout thing is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Is it?
Was that real? Like him saying it's crazy 3 times? Or was that edited?
No, that's the clip, unedited. You being mad about your boyfriend making out with it. Oh, I can't say that. Bleep that. Essaying another man is crazy, Trisha. Crazy.
Oh my God, that's
You're
triggering
crazy.
right there. That's like PTSD.
Sorry.
I don't even remember. And then when you did that, I was like, oh my God, because like, yeah. And the thing is my MO is like everyone like calls me crazy online or whatever. So it's like that's such an easy thing to say. And like you start thinking that you're like, even Jason, when I called him, when he said he was gonna do it, I so remember I was in Cleveland, and when I called him, I'm like, I'm not comfortable with you doing it. This was a month after we're dating. He's like, then we're gonna break up. Like if you're not comfortable with this, then we're breaking up. So like I was like so scared of that. Excuse me, that I was just like, I don't know.
This is so redeeming because I remember you saying, I remember that happening and not being comfortable with it. And here's the footage.
Yeah.
And not only you saying you're not comfortable with it, but David was, I mean, look at people misuse gaslighting all the time. This is gaslighting.
Right.
Because you know something's wrong and he's trying to convince you that you're crazy.
Right. I mean, that was everything though. Like everything is like, Trisha, you're crazy. And I have like crazy tendencies. But
I feel like you might be you're the same one in the room in this case for sure.
I make out with guys, girls, moms. I don't care. Like, you know, I don't.
What if he was in a movie and he had to do that?
It's not a movie. It's David's vlogs. Nobody.
That was like always their argument. They're like, what if we were an actor?
If you were in a movie, right, there would be lawyers and compliance and producers and all kinds of people that would tell you cannot do this. You're not a movie. You're a fucking YouTuber. There's literally no oversight to what you're doing, bro.
And then they obviously knew the backlash of it. They obviously knew Seth was upset at the time. Like it was just so crazy. It's crazy. It was like, I don't know that they did that. Period. I don't know that people find the craziest shit like that online, but. I like that TikTok keeps talking about it. I hope more people keep talking about it. It just like for me, I'm just not the voice that's gonna like help anybody because people think I'm crazy, obsessive, all this stuff like that. So like if you have something that you want to share, you need to share your story. And like at least like I said, your series, I know you're like done with it, but at least it was good because it gave like a sane voice, right? Like somebody who was like unbiased, you know, about it.
I would just urge people to go watch that Seth interview.
Yeah, that was really good.
Watch the Seth interview and just listen to what the guy's saying because it is really
it's just insane.
Sad.
It's just insane the amount of people that can discredit that. Okay, it's one thing for me, whatever, like Trisha's butthurt or she brought broken up with or whatever, but it's like that is just like he's a friend. He tried to help them after that, before that, like and for people to still discredit him about everything. Oh, that's not racist. That's not that. You shouldn't feel this way. You know, you went along with jokes. Like it's so insane to me. It's like so. It really that's triggering alone. I was watching. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And like I said, I really only met Seth like a couple of times. We never like cross-segged in like videos, but like the fact that you know those people's stories were so similar. It's like we're not all lying. We're not all just making this up about David. And for what? When people say that, it's like looking for clout. Like you guys made a great point. It's like there's no clout to be had. Like we just look crazy or obsessive or whatever people call it. There's nothing other than trying to share the truth.
Like Seth, what does Seth gain?
Exactly.
Except everyone just shits on him and he catches shit.
Yeah.
Like he has nothing. Like Seth's made a good point of saying that I have nothing to gain. In fact, it's humiliating that I have to come here and share my story.
Yeah, because so many people just don't take it seriously. Where if it was like
He doesn't want to relive it. He said it's like traumatic.
If a girl came forward and said that about Jason, like it would be a whole different thing. You know what I mean? Like that just really, really sucks that it's like a guy situation, including that guy that came forward to you in that email. And he said it to me too, so it wasn't, whatever. But it's like, it does happen to guys, especially in this situation where it's very frat boy thing, very like hazing, and like people just like look past it because they're boys, I guess. I don't know. It's so fucking weird.
The one other thing that Seth told me that kind of blew my mind is because even when I saw the second prank, I was like, oh, he's definitely in on it. And he shows a clip of Seth saying, how can I, he says, do I have your consent to try to make you make out with Jason again? Now, Seth said off camera, he said a bunch of times, don't do this, I'm not comfortable, I don't consent. And then what David ended up cutting in was Seth saying, how can I consent to something I don't know what it is you're going to do?
Right.
How you're going to do it. And he cut that in. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah,
bro.
the editing is...
Let's take a break. Like a food break.
Oh, I thought you wanted to take a minute on this podcast.
No. Okay, we did it. We reached the end.
Okay, so no one else should reach out to you for David Dobrik interviews. You're done. You're closing that chapter.
I mean, feel free to reach out, but like...
You can't.
But it's just like I just think that if I keep talking about it, people are gonna stop taking it seriously.
Can you talk about it without making it the title? Because I do think it's important you give people voices where they feel scared to share other places. But I get it if you want.
No, I can't keep doing it. I'm not the David Dobrik guy, like you said, if people have stories, come out and say it, and then maybe I'll see it and talk about it. But the thing about Big Nick and Seth, these are both people who tried to share their stories, but didn't get the attention that they deserved. And these are also two people that were like intimately involved in the Vlog Squad. Like have the most trustworthy, not that this person's not trustworthy, but like the most, let's say, credible, because they're in the videos. There's like so much there. You can't really even, like what Seth said, there's no two ways about it.
Right.
Right.
Well, I'm glad that you did it for real. That was,
Thank you.
It just felt like a relief when you hear like other people finally being like, maybe Trisha was like not like it's just like this like relief where you're just like, finally people are seeing something and not calling me crazy or obsessive or like weird or freak or like bitter, as AB said. I'm not bitter that I'm not in the group. I literally left it with, blazing saddles.
Yeah, and by the way, I spoke to Seth and Nick a little bit afterwards, and they were both like they both expressed feeling like super relieved that they were able to get their message out to a receptive
That's all you can do. I mean, like I think everyone had the same sentiment of like we're definitely not trying to cancel. He's not going to be canceled, but I think like
and by the way, I don't even think David's a bad guy.
I think he's a bad guy. But
well, so I don't know him really.
I don't think he's going to get canceled. I'm not trying to cancel him. It's going to be that's not even the goal. Like he won't be canceled.
I mean,
look at Mel Gibson still thriving.
Look, I'm not
Woody
trying,
Allen
I don't
still
want
thriving.
I can't keep doing it. I'm not the David Dobrik guy. Yeah, okay. So first of all, I know we've talked about David Dobrik a lot, but I just have proof that he watches our podcast. Proof that he watches our podcast.
Tell me about this. You have information from me?
Well, I'm going to show it to you now. I want your reaction. So here it is. Can you see that?
Horse semen can cost up to $4.7 million.
So we had a Ben Shapiro impersonator call in, and he made this joke. Oh, sorry, cat's out of the bag.
I don't even know who that is.
Okay, well, anyway, he made a joke about how horse semen is the most expensive liquid on the planet. And so, now watch.
Horse semen can cost up to $4.7 million. It is actually the most expensive liquid you can buy.
One of the
6
most
days
expensive
later.
liquids in the world. This is fucking amazing. Is horse semen. Well, you probably already know about this, Jay.
I know a lot about semen.
But a gallon of horse semen can go for $4.7 million.
Horse semen.
Excuse me.
Wait, is this like a
Can
news
cost up to
article like,
$4.7 million
that was like, popular?
No, we just wrote that joke.
You wrote the joke for the Ben Shapiro impersonator. It wasn't on news or anything. Like you could Google it.
No, yeah, we wrote the joke. I'm not going to take credit.
So it's not
for
even real. It's not a real fact.
It is a real fact.
Okay, but
But
it's not
he
like
did
out
it
there.
6 days later. How are you? You can't this is fact.
No, he's obsessed with people talking about him. They always gossip in the group. Oh, this person said this. He knows everything. He just doesn't have to acknowledge it because he's.
How'd you upload a video 5 hours ago? You just uploaded a video 5 hours ago.
butter noodles.
So anyway, proof that David Dobrik is watching. So hi, David. Time to apologize to Seth, fucker. Philly D finally covered the Dobrik story.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say that, I had anything to do with it. But it's nice to see.
It's definitely picking up. I saw articles about it.
Yeah, but like nothing's happening still. It's like, I don't know how you can just, I didn't know you could just ignore stuff to this level.
Yeah, it's disturbing.
But I guess there's no consequence. So as long as there's no consequence, then who cares? Like I saw him even being touted in an here, you got to see this shit. Bullying prevention tour, you guys. I made a tweet. I said, David Dobrik going on an anti-bullying tour is like me going on a tour telling people how to lose weight. It's just, nobody should be taking weight loss advice from me. Did they remove his? No, here he is. Yeah. Nah, that's you laughing like.
What's that headshot?
Yeah, that's the same one I always see. I don't know why he loves this. Why are you touching your face? What are you musing? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, okay, we have all kinds of juice. He's also blocking, we found out, keywords on his vlog to prevent people from talking about it. I know some of you don't like hearing about this, but I do feel this is important, and you guys are going to enjoy this because it's so crazy.
To begin with, even I didn't really think I cared enough about David Dobrik's story.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I learn about it, I just really am surprised that no one is talking about it like in a serious way. This is a serious situation.
It's super serious. And what's fascinating to me is his ability to just ignore. It's like that.
I would feel like if that happened to me, I would have to just like go bury myself in a just end it. Like
or
there's no
acknowledge it like right away. But he's like Shaggy, wasn't me. I saw you in the bathroom. Wasn't me. That's David right now.
Yeah. Like the person that was in the situation
on video
is saying he was assaulted, saying it was so bad to him he had to move states. Like how are we just gonna brush over that point that he had to move?
He's been filtering comments out because I was looking through his comments. Like I saw on TikTok, all the top comments were like, when are you gonna respond to this Seth thing? And I was like, oh wow, so people are aware of this.
Mm-hmm.
And that went back 20 minutes later, they're all gone.
Mm.
Then I went to his YouTube and there was like literally nothing about it. And I was like, wow, that's so weird. So we did some tests to see what keywords
But
he's
to
blocking.
be fair, it is hard sometimes to say. People throw that accusation very freely when
We
a lot
tested
of
it.
times, I know, I just want to say that a lot of times YouTube just mixes up the comments all the time, so people will think
true.
everyone is deleting comments. Like
people say that to
people
us.
say that about everything all the time.
it frustrates me
I just
so
want to
much.
acknowledge that that is another side of that, and it gets thrown away all the time at everyone.
Well, the other thing that happens is top comments on YouTube are always, or not, but a lot of times YouTube like rotates them.
Yes.
So if there's a big top, but so people always accuse you of. So what we did to make absolute sure is that we first of all would put something on his channel and see if it would get through. If it did not go through, then we would go to our channel where we know it's not being filtered and see if it would go through. Because sometimes.
How do you know if it went through?
Well, here because it shows, right, AB. You can see it in the chat. If it doesn't go through, you can't see it in the chat when you refresh.
Right. And I double checked on a separate account.
Yep, you can always see it yourself. So what you do? That was sorry,
just
baby.
waiting for it.
You know that's what Trisha is saying. Though. Oh man, that's so fucking funny.
He's got his finger on the trigger at all times.
Zach, you were coming into it. You are the
AB's voice, boom.
That's kind of the way to do it, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it's funny.
wow, Zach, amazing. So what you do is, okay, let's say I want to see if Kiss, for example, is blocked. So I will go and write Kiss. Now you see it from your own account. So you would switch to a different account, sort by new, and if it's not there, then it means it's blocked. Sometimes YouTube blocks itself, right? Through their own automated, filter. So then you go to my channel, the podcast channel, type Kiss, switch accounts, it's there. That means he definitely has it blocked. So he has blocked Kiss and Kissing.
I wouldn't say definitely, but I would say most likely.
I would say, okay, so very, very,
There's no 100% proof, but,
It's
Most
high
likely.
up there. It's very high up there. So he's blocked kiss and kissing. We've proven that, right?
You guys came in here. We were going to do this whole...
The SA, I don't even want to say it. Don't even show it. SA, you guys know, is also blocked.
bit because you guys walked in with a security guard.
I'm going to mute it. So that is blocked.
Okay, I'm not sure.
It's fine. It's fine. Just don't say it. SA. And when test... Yeah, so SA, when posted on ours, was not removed, interestingly. You know what I mean? So he is filtering out comments. Very sly, of course. Now, here's where it gets really wild. You guys, I'm just going to play this video and you watch it. This is candid take from his podcast after the prank took place. You guys just watch this. It's 5 minutes long, but I swear to God, it's worth every single second. So let's listen.
Oh, let's talk about this. What really made me happy. What? Today, we pulled a prank on my friend Seth.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, yeah. And now you can talk about it.
It's probably the best prank I've ever pulled on anyone, in my opinion. We have this scary mask that we've been pranking people with, and it's just a scary mask, and everyone knows that it's a mask. And I told Seth, hey man, I want to do this bit. It's like a dream sequence where you make out with the mask guy, and it just looks like you're dreaming and you're making out with an old man because the mask makes you look like an old man. And I'm like, Corinna's going to be in it, and Corinna's a girl in my vlogs, and he thinks Corinna's really attractive. So
Corinna's kind of like the hot girl in David's vlogs.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I'm totally down. And I'm like, yeah, Seth, just don't hold back. You can make out as much as you want, have as much tongue as you want. Just keep kissing her.
So this part is really interesting to me because he explicitly explains how he misled him.
He's totally confirming everything we know.
Even in greater detail, because because when you watch the video, you go, "Why are they making out so hard?"
Yeah.
He explicitly instructed him to kiss hard,
And he's
make
saying
out
it's a
lot.
girl that he thought was attractive.
Yeah.
Like, so clearly he was interested.
Exactly.
What Seth didn't know is that I replaced Corinna with Jason. So Jason was under the mask.
Jason, what is wrong with
Okay, let's watch. Let's watch.
Okay. Sorry, I'm gonna play it. I'm playing it.
And everyone in the room's like, this isn't gonna work.
Everyone doubted you. Yeah, yeah.
Everyone, Brandon, Corinna, like, this isn't gonna work. This is stupid.
Because of the size difference. Because of the size about 6 feet, and Corinna's about 5'6".
And then
Sorry, I got to pause because that's another important point to call out. Is because a lot of people's evidence that it's fake is because how could he not notice the size difference? And so he explicitly says, this is something we were worried about, yet it still worked. Again.
It starts going, and Seth is there sitting on the couch. Jason walks in as Corinna. He's not speaking, obviously. Sits next to her. Seth leans in, and as he's leaning in, I'm like, fuck yeah, I got it. It's game over. It's in the bag.
I sit down, I put my hand on Seth's knee, and I put my hand behind his back and start rubbing his back and squeezing his knee. And then he
just leans in and just goes at it.
I slip him the tongue first.
Okay, very
It's so-
incriminating
It's
moment.
so gross to think about when you know how Seth feels. You know,
Yes.
that he's been assaulted. It's really gross even listening.
Don't say that.
Oh.
So here is very incriminating. Jason says he slipped the tongue first and grabbed his knee. So Jason made the first move, which, by the way, what is wrong with you, dude? Okay.
With tongue, they start making out. And at this point, we're like 5 seconds in, and I'm like, this is it. This is what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I'm out. Like, we can end this. And I'm like, Seth, like, I'm ready to tell him.
He's coming now. He's coming into my mouth with his tongue so hard.
You could tell his tongue is...
Did he grab my ass?
He grabbed your ass. He grabs Jason's ass because he thinks it's Corinna. At this point, the poor dude probably has a boner. And he's really making out with Jason. And I'm like, Seth. And I'm trying to get him to stop, but he thinks...
Hey,
it's part of-
Jason, you know, you could stop it too.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
Making out with this guy. And I'm like, I literally, I think I looked up to the ceiling and I'm like, God, what did I do to deserve such beauty?
And I'm sitting there going...
Again, I got to pause. What did I do to deserve... He looks up to the ceiling. I thought he was going to say something like, okay, this has gone too far. Yeah. No, he goes, what did I do to deserve such beauty? Dude, I'm telling you, this clip is from another world. And just remember, a fan account posted this. Like what, this morning or yesterday? Man, crazy.
David, call it, please. Please, just call it, David. Bring Corinna in.
Jason.
It's going on, and it is so aggressive. Like
they're making out like super aggressive, and then I call Corinna into the room, and Corinna's standing right next to me, and then I'm like, Seth, and then Seth finally lets up after 25 seconds of making out with Jason, and he sees Corinna, and he just fucking loses it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was my favorite thing.
You can't fake that. You know, it wouldn't be something you could ever fake.
It was so perfect, and I feel so bad, and it's awful because poor guy had to go through that, and his friends are probably going to chew him out for that for the next 3-5 years of his life.
Well,
really important. I feel so bad, but thank you, God, for this joyous occasion. And I know, his
life is going to be ruined for 3 to 5 years. But
so important. I know he's going to get shit for this for 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
I know. And then, meanwhile, he's plotting the next time he's going to do it again.
Seth tells that the homosexuality is not so accepted in where he comes from.
Seth's from
Okay, well, sorry.
Compton.
I'm sorry, it's just, let me go back.
Is not so accepted in where he comes from.
Seth's from Compton.
Dudes kissing dudes is not so accepted.
Seth's from Compton, so it's like the perfect, like
these straight dudes kissing
it's literally
straight
the perfect setup. Like a guy from Compton, and I made him make out with another older man.
It's good for Seth. It gets him some airtime, and
Seth was really
gets him.
Dude, this is so
it gets him
twisted,
airtime.
This is so twisted.
What a way to justify it in your head. Like, yeah, it's gonna ruin his life back in his community for 3 to 5 years, but he gets his airtime.
The fact that he knows, he's literally explaining in every way how and why it's so messed up what he did. He says where he comes from, kissing other dudes is not acceptable. He's from Compton. I know that about him. Which does confirm that he did, because we know he specifically targeted him.
Yeah.
And I think this all but confirms he did it because he's black and he's from Compton. He literally just admit that.
Mm-hmm.
It couldn't be a more perfect setup. A guy from Compton making out with an older guy.
Yeah.
Bragging about it. I mean, it's so sadistic, you know? And then to have done this and to do it again. Like, he's plotting to do it again. So here we go.
Initiated into the vlog.
He was as angry as he could have been, but he really couldn't because he was just like, okay, you.
Okay, again. He says he's as angry as he could have been.
Not me.
He handled it really well. He gave it up. He was like, I don't know what to say. That was great.
100%. That had to be one of my favorite pranks. It just worked.
Yeah. So he's going on the anti-bowling tour. In context of all this. Which is funny because even besides Seth, you have Big Nick, who left for being bullied, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Here he is. No Place for Hate virtual high school tour. National tour dedicated to promoting bullying prevention. Featuring David Dobrik.
For those of you guys who found the vlog to be offensive, I'm sorry you did. For those of you who didn't find it to be offensive, I'm sorry they did.
The perfect apology for the... You better take that on tour, that kind of apology. I've always disliked the tongue thing. I'm just going to put that out there now that we're on this topic. The tongue thing has always driven me crazy. Why he got to always smile with his tongue out? You always got to smile with his tongue out. Keep the tongue in your mouth, please. I'm begging you. Dude, look at you didn't notice? His tongue is always sticking out like he thinks it's so cute. And it's not like I think I heard him talk about it. Yeah.
It's always.
It's not like a medical thing, by the way. I think I heard him explain it, so I'm not making fun of something he can't control. He literally just thinks it's cute. You find me a picture of him smiling without his tongue out. Look. 1, 2.
All right,
3.
You're going off topic here.
It's the tongue out guy. Put the tongue in.
You can smile however you want.
Oh, there you well, he's not smiling, though. On that one. Oh, that one's a little bit of
You even here, you see his tongue peeking out? Why you guys keep the tongue in, bruh? Burn.
It's not quite soy face, but it's like it's soy face.
Soy face?
Soy face adjacent, for sure.
Like, this is a lot. It's fully sticking out of his mouth.
This is almond milk face.
I'm just gonna do that to you all the time now.
How do you even smile like that? Oh, like that? That's good. It doesn't make me cute. You look cute. Let me see your tongue out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that doesn't bother
Just
people.
a puppy.
I don't know how that doesn't bother people. Like, I've always been like, dude, stop with the tongue out. 'Cause he's always. I know this is beside the point, but since we're on the topic, I just
So
want.
beside the point. We're talking about essays here.
I'm basically just bowling him
College
at this
essays.
point. Oh, look, it's us. Tongue out. Tongue out. I'm just telling you, tongue out. All right, I'm out. I'm out.
I just feel like we always just kind of really wanted and always been inspired to just do things our own way and kind of do our own things.
Yeah.
And I feel like as even we started growing even more, there's even more of a subcategory, which is just like ourselves and what we personally wanted to do, because we all have huge visions, you know?
Yeah.
I personally was really working on my company, Certified Casting, just trying to get that going, get that off the ground.
Yeah.
As you guys know, it's been supporting all these different creators, just helping them piece together their content, casting for extras, putting people in music videos, commercials, stuff like that. So it just started taking up a lot of my time. So I started kind of, you know, focusing in on that because I needed something to be like my bread and butter because, you know, we got bills and stuff like that. You know, it's been dirty gang since we started. So, you know,
exactly.
I kind of, we just kind of had to level up a little bit and just like get our stuff together and prepare ourselves because, you know, David, he's becoming such a huge entity. You know, we want to make sure, you know, we have our stuff together and we're representing, you know, ourselves and this entity at its highest quality. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it was, at least for me. I know Dom has his own stuff going on.
Today, we here to talk about something serious. You know, we're talking about David Dobrik a lot. Well, if you guys missed the memo, we've been talking about David Dobrik a lot. And they responded, actually. Specifically, one of the Vlog Squad members, Scotty Sire, which, with peace and love, I don't know anything about him, but that sounds like the name of a poodle. Scotty Sire. Scotty.
Okay.
So I wasn't really sure how to respond to this video exactly. I'm just going to play it and pause it and respond as I have so many thoughts about this video. There's so much I want to say about it. And I'm not really sure the best way. So I'm just going to play it and comment as we go. Seth gave me a comment to read. I'm going to read it after we respond to all this just because you'll have the full context if you haven't yet seen his video, because it alludes to certain parts of his video and stuff. So let's just go ahead and watch. Basically, David Dobrik respond via proxy Scotty. I mean, pretty much, right?
I was thinking to myself, how funny would it be if whenever you got in shit, you sent me by myself to apologize for you?
Dude, that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's exactly what happened because people like you more than me. So let's say I do something messed up and I go, Hila, can you go out there and explain things? And then people are more receptive because they like Hila. That's what Scotty's doing. You know, this just goes to show how disposable ain't just the name of David's app. It's how he thinks about his friends. He's like, send Scotty out to the wolves. And also, there's a lot of cult-like vibes that you'll pick up in this video, too, which is what Big Nick was saying, is that it's kind of culty, and you'll see that here. Because Scotty's one of the beautiful people, right? He's one of the he is, right? You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the insiders. He's one of the cool kids. Okay, here we go.
What's up, guys? I am totally sick of seeing my friends' names get dragged through the mud because of false allegations and lies and just things that aren't true. So I'm going to address some of those allegations and defend my friends. They haven't said anything because typically the Vlog Squad does not address rumors and lies and gossip because it platforms the person telling the lies, draws attention to it, and we know who we are. We know our character. We know we're good people, and we know it's not true. But
I thought
already.
I thought this was really interesting.
Already setting the tone, right?
I mean, he kind of gave something away when he says that we don't platform lies. We don't respond because it platforms them and it gives them attention.
Yeah.
What if they're not lying, though?
Right.
Right. But what he's actually giving away is that they do have this spoken rule.
This happens kind of frequently is what I'm getting.
Right. And they have this spoken rule to just ignore. Ignore, don't give attention. And it's all, I mean, look, all of it's untrue, apparently, according to Scotty. By the way, in the very beginning, he says of Seth, again, and this is why people are going and shitting on Seth.
What's up, guys? I am totally sick of seeing my friends' names get dragged through the mud because of false allegations and lies and just things that aren't true. So I'm gonna.
So he keeps referring to these allegations by Seth as false and lies. Yet you'll notice throughout the video he does literally nothing to dispute what Seth said.
Draws attention to it, and we know who we are. We know our character. We know we're good people, and we know it's not true.
What do you mean
but
we? It
this has
doesn't
gotten to
involve you. That's the other thing. We're good people. We know who you are. Nobody's accusing you of anything.
Like, I feel like maybe this comes from a good place of you thinking you're defending your friends, but it's just not right. This isn't your place to even say something. No one is talking about you.
Yeah.
But now you're coming in and throwing more shit at the person who's got the false allegation, apparently. Based on why is it false? Like, you haven't, it's not including you.
Well,
the guys that are involved in it should come and say something.
Yeah, the fact that he's even responding to this. But this goes back to the cult-like thing. It's like,
Yeah.
we. It's like, no. David is the one that's
And
profiting.
Jason.
David is the one that's moving up. David is the one that's fucking blowing up as your channel. I mean, I was kind of, whatever, I'm not going to say it, but it's not we. It's David, and he's using you yet again, bro. And this has nothing to do with you. And somehow you're putting yourself in front and to shield David from like this onslaught of bullets, and like you didn't have to do that, dude. Because now you're in the fucking mud with him. You didn't help him at all. You're just in the mud now with him. You know what I mean?
It's just even more revealing of their whole culture.
We're good people. We're good people. So there's no way. By the way, according to Trisha, that Scotty wasn't even involved in any of this stuff. He wasn't there during the pranks. He wasn't there during the Seth stuff. He barely knew Seth. So, like, you don't know, dude. It's like, doesn't involve you.
To a point where it's such a serious accusation that it needs to be addressed. Everybody makes mistakes. I am not an angel. I've definitely made mistakes myself.
I love that he said that it's such a serious allegation, it should be addressed. That's exactly what everyone is asking for. That it should be addressed by the people.
Not by you, fuck.
Not you. But that is all people are asking for.
Right.
Just address stuff, David and Jason and whoever is involved directly in a situation.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of unconscious irony throughout this whole video, you'll notice.
Make mistakes is to learn and grow from those mistakes. That being said, telling a lie is a mistake itself, and there's been a lot of that going around. First of all, David's a great person. Jason's a great person. In fact, they're both fantastic people. David doesn't have a mean bone in his body. He's so nice. When someone does something that really upsets him, he gets disappointed instead of angry and be like, why'd you do that? Like, that's not cool, dude.
Okay, this part was just so weird to me.
So weird.
He starts by saying, these guys can't have done this because they're great guys. They're really nice to me.
Yeah.
He goes, David doesn't get mad at people. He just gets disappointed. It's like, I'm sorry. What is he, your fucking grandmother? And also, how much friction? Weird. Like, how many? What is there to be mad about so much? He doesn't get mad at people. Oh, I'm just.
It's kind of funny that they have so many unspoken protocols.
Right. He's such a great guy. He only gets disappointed at people, never mad. Again, very culty.
The thing is that he may be nice to you, and that doesn't mean anything about what he does with other people.
Of course, especially because Scotty's one of the beautiful people.
That's again why you shouldn't really be involved in this conversation.
But what does that say about the power dynamic where David being disappointed means anything?
Yeah.
It's like, who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Be mad. Be mad. What does it mean, be disappointed? He's not your parent. It's just odd.
Yeah.
It's just, I find that statement very odd and telling, like from a psychological standpoint. I wonder if David's going to be showing some disappointment to Scotty for this one. Not anger, though. Just disappointment.
Although I do not think Dobrik had intentions of assembling a cult, the environment the group was in are the perfect conditions for one to thrive.
I was in this hospital one time visiting my aunt, and I remember looking out the window and thinking how strange it was that a building for the Church of Scientology was directly across from the hospital. I later learned how ideal this was for the church and that the location and environment play an important role in cult recruitment.
In a survey of present and former cult members, data indicates that a majority of people being recruited were approached at a vulnerable time of stress in their lives, starting a new job, breaking off a new relationship, experiencing financial instability, or losing a loved one. These parties prey on people's vulnerabilities and disguise themselves as an answer to these people's prayers. So here are a number of things that make this building's location prime for recruitment. Being in front of a hospital is optimal for finding those who are in a vulnerable time of stress in their lives. They are in danger of losing a loved one, or have. They may also be experiencing financial instability because of the unexpected costs of healthcare in the US. Even more ideal is that this building is located in Hollywood. The city attracts transients ready to make their acting dreams a reality. With this territory comes a number of vulnerabilities Scientology is ready to take advantage of. Transients are often starting a new job because of their move, breaking off relationships because of their move, and experiencing financial instability because of the move. Vlog Squad's environment works in an eerily similar way. Most of the early members were former Vine stars looking to make a name for themselves on social media. This dynamic ticks off quite a few boxes in our vulnerability list. Most members aren't native to California, so moving into a house together is very similar to having a new job.
When I first got into the group, I was like 22 years old. I just moved to LA. I was just looking for a cool group of friends that I could kind of work with and collaborate with, that I can also be friends and also, have some sort of other interesting activities going on with. And that group, they were cool people when I met, and I liked what they were doing.
In addition, the new move results in the difficulties of maintaining personal relationships with individuals from their hometown, romantic or platonic. The early days of a career in social media aren't lucrative, since view count is inconsistent. This leads to financial instability.
Yo, they're shutting down Vine.
They will be shutting down.
Vine is dead.
Found out at one point the Vine was done, like, what am I gonna do now?
And we were all in the same boat. Thank God David was there, like, filming vlogs while it was happening, because I honestly do not know where we'd be right now.
All these checked off boxes makes members more likely to comply with actions that could possibly get them out of their vulnerable state. These actions most likely include content for David Dobrik's vlog. If I do this and David gets views, I get shouted out in the vlogs. This will help me financially, gain me respect from my coworkers, etc. Notice other individuals who do the most humiliating stunts. Jason, a 40-plus-year-old man that has to provide for his kids, is often obedient to these things. And Jonah, a new addition to the vlogs, introduced by another member, is as well.
Jonah.
Obviously, these two have not come out to say that Dobrik's antics are abusive to them. That's not my point. If they're okay with this, then they're okay with this. My point is, the more vulnerable you are, the more you are willing to do for the vlog, even if it violates your own personal boundaries. Members who are not in a vulnerable position are not susceptible to humiliating tasks, Liza Koshy and Josh Peck being some examples. Vlog Squad member Corinna Kopp's evolution from vulnerable to not vulnerable is another example of this dynamic happening before your eyes. The earliest scenes of her in Dobrik's vlogs involve Corinna as the butt of shaming jokes and performing actions she wouldn't normally do if she were financially stable.
I decided that I kind of broke right now, so David said he'd help me out, and I'm going to get a tattoo on my finger. It's going to say David's blog. He's paying me a small lump sum of money to do it.
Greta, what are you going to do now with your new tattoo? Are you going to show off to other people how stupid you are?
The more established her career became, the less these bits were prevalent in Dobrik's internet videos. Traditional media faces similar problems because it mirrors this dynamic. Many are willing to partake in risky behavior for a chance of high reward. The difference is, over the years, many interns, writers, and up-and-coming actors have fought for laws to be passed in order to protect themselves. While Hollywood still has its shortcomings, the social media space is even more deregulated.
Jason also is like the sweetest, most caring, there for you anytime you need him person.
I'm glad he was nice to you.
So
Have you heard Trisha? Have you heard, like, she ended up in a mental hospital?
Yeah. I'm glad they were nice to you, dude. Like, what the fuck?
Were you in a relationship with him?
Once again, I truly think that in the age of Me Too and everybody's so woke about issues like this, the very fact that it's a male victim just makes everybody forget about everything they ever learned in the past 10 years about it. Because this is just classic victim dismissal. And, you know, this kissing prank, I guarantee you, if it was instead of Seth happened to like Natalie, which is like this girl that everybody loves, it was where Jason was putting his tongue down her throat and touching her thigh and her back, that this guy would be outraged and Jason would go to jail. You know what I mean? Like, it so obviously would be pure outrage if the genders were reversed.
Wow. As a straight person for you, and this is not an anti thing. I have my orientation. You have violated my boundaries.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it comes down to.
That's it.
Nah, bro. You gotta hold a big L for this one. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's not a prank. It's not a prank to violate somebody's boundaries. Do people not understand that? You can't just hit somebody and be like, oh, it's a prank, bro. It's why that other kid who ran up to people, he's like, hey, man, and he pulled out a knife and someone shot him.
Yeah.
Like, it's a prank, bro.
That's not a prank. But we knew that would happen.
Natural selection, bro. Good for you. Listen, I'm going to say this, bro. Maybe this is a hot take. Maybe this is crazy. But I saw this whole platform come down on Shade Dawson because of some comments that he made about Chunk, which unacceptable. Cool. Jada got online. Boom. Bro, how is this kid allowed to do pranks like this on this platform, basically violating someone's boundaries? To me, that's crazy. How you can have those two and think they're that separate? Like, this person talked about doing f***ed up stuff and get him off. I don't care. Fine. What this is? And you monetized it and made money off of it? Nah, bro. I don't think I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm just saying, if it's me in that situation, nah, we throwing hands.
If you watch David's vlogs, you've seen people come and go from them from time to time, and it's always that person grew apart, their career path changed, they didn't want to be in the videos anymore, and sometimes it's because they did something that wasn't cool. And it's like, all right, we're going to distance ourselves from you now, and that's it. And I think that right now the internet...
How many people are you guys inviting to your circle that are need to be cut out?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes people join the vlog and either their careers go fucking sideways or we have to cut ties with them. Okay. Sounds healthy.
That is fueled by a lot of unsubstantiated gossip and lies, and that sucks. You got to be careful with what you're putting out on the internet and the claims that you're making without verifying them. If you're telling a lie and it snowballs, it becomes something that you cannot take back. You can't retract it. And then you just end up damaging people's lives for no reason and probably damaging your own life as well. So I would just like to say, don't call it sharing your truth if you're sharing a lie.
Bro, that is like the most ironic statement ever.
Yeah.
Don't call it, it's not your truth to speak on. This has nothing to do with you. And he continues to call it a lie. And you'll see as we go through that there's no fucking evidence that he shows that Seth lied about anything. Nothing. Seth lied about nothing. He says, what do you say? He directly addresses me towards the back, but I'm going to go back.
Right. Well, here he says that don't spread a lie that will snowball and ruin people's life.
Right.
That I think is directed to you. Based on the ending.
Damaging people's lives for no reason and probably damaging your own life as well.
So again, well, I'll respond to him, I guess, when he mentions me at the end. But it's like, this is Seth telling his story directly. He says, do your research. I don't know what more research I can do other than having the account of the person it happened to. You know what I mean? Like, that's a firsthand account, bro. That's like as solid as it gets. I mean, what do you want from me? And then he said, you should have reached out to David. I'm sure David would respond to me about this, just like he's been ignoring Seth for 2 years, just like Philip DeFranco said he reached out to him and didn't get comment. I love this expectation that I need to reach out to everybody and just wait forever for them to give me a response. Like, I owe them that.
It's not like we have a relationship with David. We don't.
Also, this isn't 60 Minutes, bro. Like, I mean, but like, he wouldn't have responded to me. He doesn't respond to anybody. You literally
if he wanted to say anything, he's got the biggest platform in the world. Just say what do you have to say.
He started the video by saying that we don't respond to this shit. But I should have reached out to David.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, dude. Look at that smug face on him right now. He's like, bro, I just did something to you. I just did something to you.
I cannot. His smirk.
It's not true.
What was that? Your sound bites are coming in
kind of low.
I cannot. His smirk
I didn't even hear
His
it.
smirk.
Oh.
Seth accused David and Jason of sexual assault for a kissing prank that was done in 2017, which is so fucked up because he was part of the videos, he knows what we do, and then after the prank was finished, David asked him.
I think we'll be all right.
Get you to make out with Jason.
I'm very confused by that because how the hell could you be so confident to tell me that I have to consent to something that I'm not going to know that I'm going to do?
David films hours and hours of footage and crams them into 4 minutes. And
Okay, so again, I have to say, he accused me of not doing research, but he clearly didn't even watch our interview because we fucking addressed this.
But also, he brushed so fast over the first incident. He's mentioning there was a kissing prank.
Yeah.
And then he goes into talking about the second time.
Right. So
right away.
The big point here, Scott, is that the first one, there was no consent. And that was the really
And the
traumatic
first one was the trauma.
You know, and so I don't know how you missed that.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes on to say, oh, well, he filmed him. So his evidence that that was okay is that, well, he filmed him the second time. And what he said clearly is not giving consent, by the way.
Mhm.
And also, as Seth said in the interview, if you watched it, which you clearly didn't, and you're criticizing me for not doing research, is Seth said that he never gave consent. And he told him not to do it. And all David cut in was this clip of him saying, how can I give you consent if I don't know what you're going to do? Which is literally not consent.
The fact that he kind of went along with the second one or whatever, that doesn't mean that it wasn't a traumatic experience or that he has now trauma with himself after the fact.
Yeah, that's like one of the classic victim shaming, let's say, fallacies. There's a bunch of victim shaming fallacies, and he hits on all of them. One of them is like, why did it take so long to come forward?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, it's like, it's the fact that I even have to explain this stuff is ridiculous because I know he knows this. If it was a girl, he would know this. Why did it take so long for her to come forward? A lot of victims often don't realize that they've been traumatized until years later because it takes time to figure things out in your mind. Okay? Why didn't she leave sooner? I'm using it in terms you understand. That's why I'm doing it from the female perspective, because so you understand it, Scotty. Why didn't she leave sooner? A lot of times victim-abuser relationships are really complicated, and the victim often wants to please the abuser to be accepted by them, right? It's a complicated relationship. He says later in the video, if it's so serious, why didn't he go to the police? Again, why didn't she go to the police? Another one. I mean, that's such a complicated question to ask. Why didn't it take so long to figure this out, to even think, oh, there was a crime? You know.
Also, with Seth specifically, there is so much baggage with where he comes from. And, I mean, do we really need to go there?
It's like, yeah.
It may not be that easy for him to go to the police. Something you don't understand.
I'm saying this now. He hasn't said it yet, but he will, because he literally hits every single fallacy, victim-shaming fallacy. The one he said in the beginning, he was nice to me. Okay, and it doesn't mean that he did anything bad to anyone else. And then he goes on to try to assassinate his character, calls him a clout chaser.
Hours and hours of footage and crams them into 4 minutes and 20 seconds for his vlog. So this clip was cut short to not actually show Seth giving his consent, but showing David asking for the consent.
When I first watched this, I was like, okay, so show. I was like, oh, I was like, good. If you are showing Seth saying yes, it's fine, then include it. You never fucking showed it. You literally never showed it. And I was like, what the hell is this sorry ass video?
Do you think David would go and film this bit if Seth had said no? No.
Prove it.
No way.
What am I supposed to just trust you? Like, what the fuck are you? What kind of point are you trying to make? Do you really think his defense is? Do you really think David would do that? He is such a nice guy. Okay, bro.
Period of time when David was always at my house editing, and I very vividly remember when he was editing that clip, there was a clip in there of Seth agreeing and giving his permission
Where is it?
to film this bit again. He was like, there's no way you're going to get it on me again. There's no way you're going to get me again.
Not yet.
So go ahead, go for it.
Okay. Where's the clip, bro? Now he shows a clip of after, and again, this is all public shit, right? Like, we've talked about all this. This is after the second prank, the beef jerky prank.
Again, so go ahead, go for it.
You're the best. You're the fucking best, David. This motherfucker told me that
He's
this
in
was gonna
shock,
happen
by the
again.
way. If you've listened to Seth talk about it, excuse me, he was in shock because he thought he was getting this big commercial deal. He told his family he was depending on the money. And he pulled the fucking rug out from under him.
Mm-hmm.
It was all fake. And he left his ass empty-handed, too, which he didn't mention. About how in the commercial deal he was meant to get $2,500. And then David wasn't going to pay him. He was like, dude, I need that money. Like,
And it's just the fact that he's even showing this clip just shows how he doesn't know anything about, like, victim.
Again, because Seth explained, he's like,
behavior.
it was either throw hands or be cool about it.
Yeah, he's on camera. He's put on the spot. This is like, it doesn't mean anything.
No. It's insane. It's really sad. Because it seems like, as people say, Scotty is an otherwise really nice guy. So it's just weird to see a guy miss the point so much. I think it's more of a testament to the cultish vlog squatty. And David definitely put him up to this, even if it was subconscious, by sending him that extra evidence you get, which you guys will see, and being like, yo, like, you know what I mean? Like, he knew he was going to make this video. He fucking he threw his ass to the wolves, bro.
Respect the fucking man that keeps his word.
You can tell by his reaction at the end of the video that he was pranked, it was all in good fun, and he gave permission beforehand. He gave David...
This is... No. What you're saying is not...
First of all, him reacting like that is not proof he gave permission.
No.
I mean, what does that mean? What does that even mean? And also, he's in shock. I mean, dude, stop.
Props on getting him with that prank a second time. Some of David's vlogs happen just like in real time, you know, like and something will happen and he captures it on film. But most of these things are preconceived and everyone talks about like what bit is going to be filmed. So a lot of the things that Seth was in were his ideas. Not saying that...
Was this one? Was this one preconceived? Did Seth know? Obviously not, based on the way David talked about it on his podcast and what Seth's first account. So what is your point here?
These kissing pranks were his ideas, but he did give consent to them and he partook in them.
You have not showed any
several
evidence
bits
of that.
after and before the next ones and was totally fine with it. Like I'd never heard a word from him about being uncomfortable. No one's here to force anyone to do anything.
Again, bro, this is so sad. This is like a tutorial on how to victim shame.
So you never heard him say he's uncomfortable, so therefore it must be a lie? Did you hear him say on our podcast that he was uncomfortable?
Do victims of abuse just walk around talking about how uncomfortable they are?
Yeah.
You know, he even said in his interview, which again you didn't watch, about how it took him a while to internalize it and understand the dynamic of the group and how it was affecting him and how he was like the butt of all these racist jokes again, which you don't acknowledge.
There's a clip somewhere of Seth pranking Jason.
Okay, so now,
2, 1, action.
Now we move on to the victim...
Dragon Seth.
The character assassination portion of this video. Okay, Seth did a prank where he put his ass in Jason's face, so it excuses what happened to him. Sorry, bro, I'm not fucking on board with this argument at all. And what's your point of bringing this up exactly? Well, he's put his ass in Jason's face once, so that totally excuses being assaulted.
Yeah.
Like Seth's behind.
This is like everybody's fucking around with each other here. We're all friends, and
Dude, sorry, but assault's
we do
not
dumb
fucking
shit.
around.
David looked through his text messages and found one of Seth's numbers, asking him to do the kissing prank a third time. Seth literally requested to do it.
So this is important. This is where you know David's involved, and this is probably how David got his ass to make the video. And this is interesting because it's an insight to how really David feels about this situation.
Yeah.
This is David's response. So here he goes.
A third time.
Guys, this is a text from Seth from about 2 years ago. He goes, yo, bro, I was thinking about it. I'm down for another kissing sketch. I said, haha, what do you mean? He goes, lol, I don't really care as long as you clout me up. I'm not gay, just don't care. And then he sends me this.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not really a big deal. I mean, it's the same shit. Just, I don't know, more open-minded.
I don't know if Seth completely forgot.
So again, the fact that he says in that he's more open-minded now means that he was pissed off. Obviously pissed off about the previous two times. But as I kind of said, it's like the fact that Seth asked to do it a third time does not negate anything that happened before. I mean,
it doesn't mean that he can still feel the way he feels now. That is what happens to victims in abusive situations. You can go back and want it again. And that doesn't mean that 2 years later, you're going to realize, or 10 years later, you're gonna realize that you were in a really fucked up situation. You were being used and abused.
And you crave their approval. You crave their attention. You crave their approval. Yeah. So that's how I see this.
You're just missing the point, and you're pointing it as like the big slam dunk. Like, hey, look, he wanted it a third time. No one knew that.
Why'd she go back? That's like the why'd she go back then fallacy.
Yeah.
He wants the approval of David. He wants the approval of the vlog squad. It's this really powerful, potent thing, right? And it's so and so much comes with it. So much good things come with it. And then he thinks to himself, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I am overreacting. Maybe I should be cool with them again and be in with them again. Maybe it's good for my career. What am I doing? Why am I withdrawing? I want to please them. I need this attention for my career. Yada yada. All these stuff. So he says, you know what? Maybe I should do it again, you know, get him cool with them. It'll be another video. I know I got fucked over the last 2 times, but this time I'll make sure I don't get fucked over. Clout me up.
And he probably feels ashamed about even going back and asking for that third time.
Right.
It's not really anything to
it's not
brag
like
about.
It's not a slam
I'm sure he's
dunk.
very ashamed of that, but that doesn't mean anything about the accusation.
Right. And it's often very complicated like this, and which is a reason why victims don't come forward.
Yeah.
Because there's people who be like, oh, well, this and this and this and this. And it's like, okay. Your
There's
feelings
like
aren't valid.
It's like you're carrying a lot of guilt and shame.
Remember what he said at the beginning?
So it's not that easy.
Don't tell me your truth if it's a lie.
More open-minded.
I don't know if Seth completely forgot about that or if he just hoped that David would never find it, the way that he hoped that David had a new computer and didn't have the extra 4 hours of footage that surrounded the 4-minute and 20 vlog.
So what is he referring to? Because I haven't seen that footage.
He's just
saying that he doesn't have the footage.
Yeah,
He was
he's saying,
Oh, how convenient.
yeah. He's saying though
He doesn't
that
have the footage.
Seth is lying
So,
supposedly.
but that's interesting because it implies that they were looking for it together.
Right. Probably
Right.
they were.
Mhm.
We got to take this fucking Seth guy out instead of just apologizing to him.
Yeah.
Bit of him consenting to the prank, but what you're doing is fucked up, Seth. Also, you posted revenge porn of our friend Erin. Do you know how that's affected her? You posted revenge porn, which is actually, it's 100% illegal. It's totally immoral and so fucked up. Did you get her consent? I don't mean to sound aggressive.
Okay, so this is something that gets brought up a lot by people who are, I guess, trying to defend David. Now, again, this is further character assassination and whataboutism. Whatever Seth has done, Seth did in that situation has literally nothing to do with this. And he's trying to change the conversation. He's trying to assassinate Seth's character, delegitimize him. That being said, it is something that comes up a lot. And although I'm not here to defend Seth in any way, I looked into it. And because I really wanted to understand. I mean, it sounds like what happened. So there's this girl. I'm not defending Seth. I'm just explaining what happened because it took me a minute to understand the situation. So there's this girl, Seth, who used, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point, AB, because I know you're familiar with all the timeline. Mm-hmm. There's this girl, Erin, who was a part of the vlog squad. Her ex-boyfriend, there's a clip of her using a racial slur, the N-word. But she was naked in that clip.
A private
clip. It wasn't public. It was a private clip that her ex-boyfriend took of her or something like that. And he threatened, I guess she said in her video that he was blackmailing her to put it out. It sounded horrible. I mean, horrible situation.
The ex-boyfriend.
Yeah. I felt
Seth.
really... The ex-boyfriend. The ex-boyfriend was threatening her and blackmailing her, which was a horrible situation. I felt really bad for him. He's absolutely terrible. And so apparently he does release it, or she said that he wanted money or something, and some guy, by the way, Jesus.
Yeah.
And she said she's not going to pay him, so he put it out there of her naked saying the N-word, okay? And so that's out there by her ex-boyfriend. And then Seth makes this video in response to the vlog squad. He called it fake activism because he felt like these guys do have signs of racism in amongst them, but they were doing all this like Black Lives Matter stuff, and so he's like, oh, this is fake activism. So he made a video about their fake activism, and in that video was very briefly Erin saying the N-word, but just to say he didn't even blur. He totally blacked out the bottom part, and it was just her head saying it. So when I watched that video back, I didn't I had no idea that she was naked or anything. But so Seth included that video in his compilation very briefly, and that's basically what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Now, should Seth have included that clip in his compilation? No, it was messed up because it was a private clip. It was calling attention to it, and I definitely don't think that Seth should have included that clip. And I understand her being like, I just don't want people, it's like so traumatic. It sounds like it's so traumatic for her, the whole situation. So Seth should not have included that in his clip. But no, I'm not going to defend Seth on that situation. But I do think it's important to understand what actually happened, because to just be like, oh, he shared revenge P word.
Yeah.
Vast oversimplification of what happened.
I kept hearing that because that's something a lot of people would bring up now, and I had imagined something like.
Well, revenge porn is true. Listen, I'm not here to defend.
I'm not here to defend
him in any way. But that's what happened. It was messed up. He shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And it's got nothing to do with this. That's my point. It's got literally nothing to do with this. I mean, you're trying to change the topic and you're trying to assassinate his character, okay? And it's got nothing to do with this. So why are you bringing it up?
I'm about to play a video, and there is some very offensive clips in this video. And I first off just really want to apologize from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this type of content and not taking a stand for my people. And also just apologize to even my friends that are involved in these videos, to let them know that I'm sorry for not speaking up and saying that this stuff is wrong. And I'm sorry that things are coming out and coming to light in this sort of fashion. And this video is not meant to damage or harm anyone's reputation. I believe that the source of the problem is misinformation and uneducated and not being educated on the topics of culture and other people's nationalities and ethnicities. And I just want from this video to create a dialogue and a new form of communication between cultures. Because if we can't be accountable for the stuff that we create, if we can't be accountable for our actions, then we will never make any progress.
I hope you're doing really well. Today we have Andrew Batchelor here, also known as King Batch. Jeff got shot. Did you know that?
You got shot?
I get hit, I'm like, yeah!
When we get shot, our families mourn and cry. When you guys get shot, it's just something to laugh about with your friends.
You guys know that I stand with Black Lives Matter. I made a donation.
Thank you guys so much for your donations. It's very genuinely appreciated. It shows that your hearts are going in the right direction. But like I said in previous videos, what we need now is accountability. The things that you laugh at, the things that you create are not here to benefit our community. So don't go making donations and posting photos of African kids that has nothing to do with African American police brutality, and get on your fucking platform and apologize. Thank you for watching.
I'm trying to be very logical here, but what you're doing and what you've done is so fucked up, and the lies that you're telling are ruining other people's lives. And I know that you spoke to David a couple years ago in private and told him you felt uncomfortable about the video, and so he took the video down. And I totally understand.
Unlisted. By the way, he's admitting here that last year it took place, that he told him he's not comfortable with it anymore. So how is he saying in the first part?
Issue.
Yeah, how is he saying in the first part, like, I never knew anything about it, blah, 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 blah. It's like you're saying that a few years ago or last year, he asked David to take the videos down, which Seth said once again in the interview that you didn't watch, that he didn't even private them. He unlisted them, which Seth didn't appreciate.
Because I guess people were still able to find it. Or
Also,
like if it's in a playlist, you can still watch it, right?
Unlisted, you can watch it if you have the link, if it's in a playlist, exactly. Also, you ignore the part where Seth said he wanted to offer him money to leave it up.
Right.
And Seth knew at that moment that you guys were not his friends.
Mm-hmm.
You ignored that part, Scotty. Which, by the way, if he was a clout chaser, he would just take the money. But he didn't. He said, please remove it. Which David didn't even do, dude. So, like, you're totally misrepresenting the truth, which is what you're accusing me of.
About the video, and so he took the video down. And I totally understand feelings of regret and feeling uncomfortable about something that you've done in the past. But you can't blame your uncomfortableness or your regret for your actions when you were...
It wasn't his actions, bruh. The first one for sure, like, we can't even debate.
I don't think it's your place to be here and say what he can or can't feel right now. It's just not.
Yeah,
you just haven't been through the situation and you just don't understand it. Clearly, you don't understand
But what you're
his
missing
feelings.
is that David is such a nice guy.
He doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
He doesn't get mad at people, just disappointed.
Listen, Seth, I'm disappointed and therefore I will not pay you what I owe you.
Yeah.
Just disappointed.
Hey, do you think that Scotty's going to get a disappointing talking to after this video he put out?
Probably.
Scotty, I'm not mad. I'm just, why did you do that, man? That's how he says he talks. Why did you do that, man? Aww.
A part, you partook in it, you were interested in it, you wanted to do it, you wanted to be clouded up, and I could totally see you being uncomfortable about that bit. Now, in hindsight,
You can't.
when you were
What's
You
the
can't.
point? What is the point of this video?
So why can't your master, aka David, just come in and say something? Just, when sorry seems to be the hardest word.
Yeah, Ela kept
to say.
singing that Elton John song.
Just come out and say sorry. Just say, Seth, that wasn't cool. Like, and let's start there.
What do I gotta do to make you love me? I'm gonna get claimed for singing that too perfectly. What have I gotta do to make you care? Why'd you have to bring that up?
It's been playing in my head.
Oh, what do I say when lightning strikes me? Okay, I could do this all day, folks. Elton John, everybody.
I know that you were just filming videos for David's channel and probably hoping that it built up your social media platform and you built a career out of it. And I don't think that worked. And I think you got bitter about it. And after a couple of years,
Dude, you're
you were
such
like,
a fucking
I
asshole
want
right now.
something out of this. I was embarrassed in that prank and I want something out of it. So I'm going to go after them.
What you're doing here right now is so bad.
It's so, that is so fucked up, bro, that you're even putting that out there.
Yeah. Your career failed, so you were looking for some way to get something out of this.
You were bitter, and now you're
Really?
lying because it didn't work out for you.
This is totally
You
you
bad boy.
speculating right now, so why put that out there?
He's so deluded, man. He's got, I don't know what is going on in this guy's brain, but like, I can't imagine even putting that out there. Like,
Yeah.
they must be having these internal conversations among themselves,
I
and
do
he's just
think-
getting all worked up. You know what
I
I mean?
do think that this is exactly what they're all thinking.
Oh, for
This
sure.
is definitely
For sure.
everyone's words in that group. This is what they're saying to each
For
other.
sure. That's why that's like actually what an echo chamber is they're in this
Yeah.
group chat, everyone's super pissed, they're totally convinced that what they're saying is right. And so he comes out here being like, I've got the answers, but then everyone's like, this ain't it.
Yeah.
Because we're not in that echo chamber. Where Daddy David is fucking Daddy Dom David.
Daddy.
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 It's so fucked up. Okay, what about Trisha then? She's really successful. What's her excuse?
Yeah, why should
I mean, whatever. It's like, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this person? What about Big Nick? What about Trisha? What about Seth? Don't you think there's just like maybe one or two too many people coming out with accusations to write off as just bitter? Maybe there's something within your guys' organization that's rotten, that's causing all these people to come out and say they weren't comfortable with what happened there. At least.
Maybe your policy of just ignoring doesn't work.
Well, how about some real introspection instead of like, you know, like this clearly, is the thought of people who are not introspective in the least bit and are just totally not taking any criticism.
Common tendency for people to go and say that they're not in the videos anymore because they were uncomfortable about doing a bit.
How common?
And then you were just never hit up again, which is false. In Seth's interview with H3, he talked about the situation in one way, and in his other interviews earlier, he talked about the situation in a completely different way.
At the end of the day, I would have laughed at it if it was someone else. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm the type of person, if I feel like I would laugh at something, like don't dish anything out. If you
He's part of the gang. He's trying to be cool, dude. When was this and when was our interview? Like, you don't have any space in your mind. Actually, he does. That's what's so odd, because he goes, oh, now you realize that it was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
But then you didn't. It's like, yeah, that's how it works, bro.
Fucked up shit.
I want to call my mom and see what my mom thinks about this. And I called my mom, and she just started busting up laughing. I'm like, if my mom
let me read the title. This is from David Dobrik's, apparently, subreddit. Seth recently had these videos deleted off YouTube. The first was up in 2017, long time ago, 4 years ago. Yeah, right when it happened. Until yesterday. The second will probably be gone tomorrow. Well, probably, okay. In the second one, Seth talks about the prank, his busyness, and his thoughts on race and the N-word.
It's not like you're saying today in this...
This is from 2017.
In this current headspace of Seth, he said one thing on this podcast and another thing on another podcast. That would be interesting. But
if this was a woman, none of this would be... This conversation wouldn't have been taking place. Everybody knows these things. It's only for men where we don't get this... But like people, a guy like Scotty, like he strikes me as a guy who's very sensitive and attuned and like pro women's rights and Me Too and all that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know him personally, but I feel like he gets these concepts.
Mm-hmm.
He understands these issues.
Laughing her ass off. Everyone else are gonna laugh their fucking ass off.
I think the magnitude of the lies you've been spreading are unforgivable, and you should face repercussions. I was there.
Okay, so again, this is as close to a threat for legal action as you can get because he's working directly with David. So he knows something about what David's up to. So when he's saying you should face repercussion, it's clearly something that they've talked about.
Mm.
Now, let me also say on the legal merit, that's just so patently absurd. If anyone has a cause for legal repercussion, it's David. You know what I mean? On Seth. Yeah, Seth has a case. He has a real case, you know. But like again, you're indirectly threatening Seth or saying that the threat of a lawsuit is out there and it should exist. And it might exist because I talked to David and he sends me clips.
And you were here creating the moments and bits that you were in with everybody. A lot of things were your ideas. And I don't know how you could lie about that.
What do you mean a lot of things was his ideas? They just can't stop. Those weren't. Even David says those weren't his ideas.
There's literal proof of you being so down for doing these bits. And now you're backtracking and saying, I was so uncomfortable, but I took the high road and just like played it off like I wasn't. You asked to do it a third time. And in retaliation for this, years later, you post our friend's naked body on the internet. It's revenge porn.
He didn't post. Okay, so once again, dude, I just have to correct the record. He did not post her naked body. Mm-hmm. That's a fucking defamatory lie.
Mm-hmm.
He did not post her naked. Or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something.
I mean, it sounds like everyone looked into it.
I mean, I hope I'm not missing something speaking out of turn, but from what I can tell is that he used it in this video and it was cropped all the way out. There was no nakedness. There was no even hint of nakedness. So he should not have used that clip, which was very private and draw attention to it. But to say he posted the naked image of your friend is really fucked up to say, in my opinion. After looking over the facts. I hope I'm not wrong. I might be speaking out of turn and he may have tweeted it or something, so I don't know. But we looked really hard into this to try to make sure we were right on this. And as far as I can tell, he did not do that.
Some people in the chat saying, yes, he did.
He did? See, I don't know what's true and what's not.
Other people saying he did not, so I don't... He blurred it.
The whole vlog squad have been putting forward this thing that he's posted naked pictures of her. And so I think there's a lot of people that think that's true. But as far as I could tell, based on all the research we did, which was a lot. It
might be that he didn't blur it at first or didn't crop it at first and then he did it after.
On the internet or in the video?
Yeah, there's some people saying he posted it uncensored at first. So
that's fucked. Yeah, that is fucked up.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's the truth, unfortunately, because...
I mean, everybody's saying he did, but, I mean, there's...
I haven't seen evidence, and there's a lot of misinformation about it.
Well, it is fucked up.
But again, I'm not here to. So maybe he's right. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn, and I'm definitely not here to defend Seth on that point. Like, let me make that very clear. Like, just because Seth has done something fucked up doesn't mean that he can't be a victim. You know what I mean? Which apparently is his point, which is a really bad point. I have never found that tweet in my research of him sharing that. If someone has it, I'm just curious to know what's the truth, because if they're putting that out there and it's not true, that's really twisted, in my opinion. But if it's true, then it's super fucked that he did that. I mean, for sure. I mean,
the thing is that we.
But again, that's not what we're even talking about.
We're not saying that Seth is a saint or anything, really.
It's just a whole separate conversation.
Yeah,
This is like a separate issue entirely. So I shouldn't even. That's why I feel like I shouldn't even speak on the topic. It's just that he brings it up, and a lot of people bring it up, and so I wanted to explain it as best as I could. But I'm not. I don't know.
I don't want it to seem like we're ignoring it either, because we are aware of this situation just as much as we can. We weren't following the situation when things happen. So
one thing for sure is that
it's hard for us now to understand what the timeline was back then.
If anybody has, I don't know. You guys are looking at chat and stuff, so if you see any actual evidence, I'm really curious.
I'm Googling around right now, and the only thread I can find about it on Twitter is him saying, the video was not monetized, nor was there nudity in the video, but thank you for your input.
Right. I've read that. She is saying, why would you put that clip out of me? And that was his response. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
There may have been so what I'm suspecting happened is there was a version of the video that we've all seen where the nudity was just blurred, and then he got backlash for it, and he deleted it and re-uploaded it with it fully cropped.
Maybe.
I think that's how this played
out. Really?
I think so. Just based off, I mean, I'm inferring from an old Twitter thread, so, because obviously the original video is gone if it ever was up, so.
Well, who knows? It's not my area.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seems like...
Again, we're not defending that anyways. He shouldn't have done that. That's the point.
Yeah.
It is still beside the point, though.
It's not what we're here to talk about, and I think that's very important to say, is that he's trying to change the topic.
For this, years later, you post our friend's naked body on the internet. It's revenge porn. It's legal.
Well, you're saying he blurred it, but, well, whatever. Again, it doesn't matter.
It's fucked up. You suck. I can only speak on what I know about, and I know that Seth and Big Nick have both been on H3's podcast, and you are part of the reason that these lies have snowballed.
Listen up. So here we go. Oh, when someone mentioned my name, I'm up for it.
Oh, boy.
This is the moment we've been waiting for. Play that chant music for me. Get the war horn going. No, we're over the serious part. And now it's time for war. Foot soldiers, assemble! Let's first of all, before he mentions my name, before anything goes down, hit me with another foghorn. Wiki Feet, Scotty, Sire. You know what time it is. Foot soldiers, a call to arms, or call to feet. Oh, dude, he's already gotten wrecked. Wait, did the foot soldiers already visit his page? No! The foot soldiers have already laid bare a desecration upon Scotty Sire's wiki feet. There shall be no survivors. Wake up. Oh, Scotty's kind of into the whole wiki feet thing. Look at these shots, bro. He's in it. Wake up, Scotty. This is war. How dare you? What the fuck, Scotty? You were trying to get that high rating, bro. Who takes a shot like that? An arm, a call to arms. Or call to feet.
Bad boy, what you gonna do?
Let's call to feet, everybody. Wow, dude, the foot soldiers have already been here. That's crazy. Y'all are next level.
I've been seeing the messages throughout this whole thing. Go tank his score.
Wow.
So.
Oh, God.
Pitchforks are out. Swords are ready. AB says it was a 4.6 before the show started.
Oh, no.
Boy. Oh, that's rough.
This, years later, you post our
All right,
friend's
Scotty, what do you have to say about me?
naked body on the internet. It's revenge porn. It's illegal. It's fucked up. You suck. I can only speak on what I know about, and I know that Seth and Big Nick have both been on H3's podcast, and you are part of the reason that these lies have snowballed and gotten so big, because you...
lies.
Do you think the reason this snowballed and got so big is because David never responds and he sends you out to fucking respond? Do you think part of the reason why this is snowball and got so big is because David literally doesn't fucking answer Seth's text? Like Seth said in the interview, if he would have just answered his text a few days before he came on the show, he wouldn't even come on the show and fucking talked about it. So how is it my fucking fault that this has snowballed when David and Jason have literally made no effort to make peace with these guys nor address these rumors publicly? So how the fuck is it my fault for this snowballing?
Right.
I'm
same with Big Nick. Like Big Nick said that David never made any public kind of acknowledgement of what happened or how things ended. Like, it's just things need to be addressed, not by you.
Come on, man. Spreading the lies without any sort of verification. In fact, when they were...
Bro, I have done... Dude, to say that I have not verified is so ironic considering your video has omitted so much information, has completely not addressed the main thrusts of the accusation. And to come here and say that I have spread lies, which you have made no effort to even dispel based on like hearsay and situational evidence is so... I don't know if he's just dumb or he's just too angry. I don't know what's the issue with this guy.
You yourself just did it in this video, spreading your own speculation that Seth is just doing it because his career didn't succeed and he's just looking to get something out of the situation.
Right. I mean, that's a rotten thing to say. Yeah. All right, be cool, Ethan. This is the foot soldier moment, though. I can be amped up during this part. Right?
No.
I'll play the foghorn. Play it quickly.
9/11.
Oh, you hear that, Hila? It's the call of battle.
When they were talking, I watched you, Ethan, take what they said and say, oh, that's so fucked up. So they did this. You would take their words and you would make it sound even worse than what they said.
Shut up, dude. It's called interviewing, douche. It's called asking follow-up questions, you dumbass.
It's also our opinion. I think we're allowed to think about it what we think about it.
And you made it sound bad. And that was fucked up. I did not have consent. Are you sure you didn't have consent? Because, I mean, David is a really nice guy, and he would not do that to anyone. That's Scotty's version of how that interview should have gone. Listen, David, as I know, he's never mad at people, just disappointed. That's not something he would ever do. No, what he said was, that's not something we would ever do.
Take their words and you would make it sound even worse than what they said. But I think that you should, in the future, at least try to verify some of the information that's being told to you. Or maybe even reach out to the people that you have.
Again, reach out to David, like Philip DeFranco did, who, he never got a response. Like, probably tons of fucking media people have been reaching out to him nonstop. He has not made a comment.
Mm-hmm.
I should have reached out. I should have fact-checked the original source, the first-hand account of a victim. I should have fact-checked that. What are you saying? It doesn't make sense. And now you got a 1 on WikiFeed, bro. Look what you've done to yourself.
Not a 1.
I don't know. Let's check. Maybe a 1.2. I don't know. He's down to a 3.2, yeah. He's still pretty good.
Guess on talking about, because the things that are being said on YouTube now and on your podcast show are things that should be said in a courtroom if they're true.
Classic victim shaming. Why didn't you go to the police?
Anyway, that's my take on the subject, and I hope that people who feel the need to make big false claims realize that if they're serious enough, they will be addressed, and hopefully you'll get in trouble for it.
Exactly. Another legal threat. You'll get in trouble for it.
Nice.
Bruh.
So...
because it's wrong.
Scotty's hot take, ladies and gentlemen. Scotty's hot take, everybody. I don't even want to keep harping on that because I feel bad.
No, but I'll tell you what, in that same, like, on that same note, like, David on the podcast and in vlogs have asked Corinna and Natalie both, like, how much money to have sex with Jason. Like, he'd be like, I'll pay you $100,000. Like, no, that's not enough.
Really?
And he's like, how much? $500,000. They're like, no, that's not enough. So it's like, he's asked girls, he said to girls, like, I'll pay you $300 to make out with Jason, and they say no. So if they're saying that, like, with consent, right? Girls, like, saying no. It's like, but you have to trick, like, a man in the group to do it. It's like, and if it was Scott, I'll guarantee you Scott would have knocked somebody out because Scott has an anger problem, and he, like, knocks people out. Like, he's always, like, fighting people. There was a good vlog of David's where, like, it was Todd's fight and Scott got punched. This is like the equivalent of that. Like, this is the exact same thing where it's like not his fight, but he's getting like the knockout, which honestly he deserves it because he's dumb. Like, he's so stupid. Like, just everything about it. Oh, Scott's an idiot.
So
your music career has failed. So you don't. Maybe you're bitter. Maybe that's why you're coming for Seth. Come for me, Scott. Come for me.
I want to show
You're
this.
bitter. You signed a record label, no one's heard of it. No one watched your last music video. Your clothing line failed. He tried to be a fanjoy, which was so stupid because David Dobrik has but he tried to be a fanjoy by making people's merch.
Mm-hmm.
Failed. You know why? Because you never sent shit. I ordered from there. I never got my merch.
You never got the shit you ordered
No,
from?
I don't even know what it was called. It was called some shit. It was shitty. All your career things are shitty. Your CBD oil is shitty. That's not a new thing you're starting. This investment on Dispo doesn't look like it's turning out in your favor.
I'm not sure that this is the point we're trying to make.
It's not a point. I just have a reason now I can go off on Scott because he's always been a piece of shit too. Like he was nice to me, but piece of shit in the background. You know what I mean? I've seen him just be a piece of shit overall. He's just so condescending. He thinks he's so cool. The girlfriend you have now looks like the girlfriend you had for 4 years and you dumped her and then found this girl right away. They look identical. What'd you do? Interchange them?
Okay, all right. Come on. It's not personal.
And his hair is frosted tips. You're like, oh, that's his natural hair. It's not. It's frosted tips. It's frosted tips. Scotty Sire hair.
Okay. Mine's natural. Unlike
your
mine.
Your tattoos suck.
Okay, all right.
The Cheshire Cat's not cute. Who are you trying to appeal to? Children?
Okay, all right.
All your girlfriends look young.
Not the point.
What's your thing?
It's not necessarily the point.
How about check your friends who dated 17-year-olds? Not even Brandon, someone else in the group.
Okay. Watch this video. So I don't know if you, David.
I hate Scott.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh.
I didn't expect we'd talk about this so much. I don't care about it, but whatever. Corinna, the girl, she I guess replaced you as like the.
She was before me, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
She stuck around.
I'm getting Nexium vibes from David because.
What's a Nexium?
It's this cult with David or Kevin. What was his name? Anyway, he was a cult. HBO did a whole documentary about it. It was really interesting. He would brand his initials on people.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So watch this clip of Corinna comes to him a long time ago and says, I need a couple $100. She was a waiter at the time. And David says, I'll give you a couple $100 only if you tattoo David's vlogs on your fucking finger where it's visible forever.
I decided that I kind of broke right now, so David said he would help me out, and I'm gonna get a tattoo on my finger. It's gonna say David's vlogs. He's paying me a small lump sum of money to do it.
$200.
What did I just do?
You just promoted my brand for the next couple of years. Granted, what are you gonna do now with your new tattoo? Are you gonna show off to other people how stupid you are?
David, dude, I did this, and now you're gonna call me stupid?
Yeah.
So, Corinna, this is a perfect example of people not wanting something in a vlog and him paying them. So, Corinna, this is on vlogs. Do you know the story? Of her giving head to Todd in the backseat of the Tesla, right? David filmed it. She goes, you can't use that. She didn't know he was filming. She goes, you can't use that. So he didn't. He's like, this sucks. I can't use it. So anyways, he had to I think it's like $500 or $1,000. He goes, how can I use this vlog? She's like, no, I don't want it in the thing. He goes, how about if I pay you like $500? Obviously she needed the money at the time. And she's like, okay, fine. And didn't want it, but you have to force someone to do something. It's not consent.
Well,
if you have to bribe someone to do something.
Well, Seth said the same thing. He's like, I want you to take those videos down. And he says, okay, how much to pay you? And then Seth said, that's when I knew they weren't my friends. Because he just wouldn't take the videos down. He wanted to pay him instead of respecting the fact that those clips made him uncomfortable.
He's taking all these clips down, but he still thinks he did nothing wrong by proving these texts, which actually proved not. It's just crazy. But yeah, it sucks.
One other thing with peace and love, this just popped up on my feed literally right now, and I want to get your guys' take. This is an old clip of David, and by the way, David, who's on the anti-bowling tour right now, talks about his time in high school. Jason says he faced lots of anti-Semitism growing up. Horrible things. He mentions people used to throw pennies at his feet and say, pick it up, Jew, call him a dirty Jew. I sense he's trying to downplay it, but as my dad's been through that kind of shit growing up, and it's very traumatic. I mean, my dad growing up, people he put up Hanukkah lights. This is in the Valley right here in LA. And people drew a fucking swastika on his garage door.
Yeesh.
So he's even to this day, still no lights. He's very anti-lights. But anyway, just listen to this.
They call me Dirty Jew. Yeah, I was the only Jewish kid in the school.
Shut up.
Yeah, only Jewish kid.
Did you get shit for that?
All the time. You walk down the hallway, someone just throw a penny on the ground. Oh, and everyone would laugh.
That used to happen at my school, too.
All Jews.
But that's not shit. That's unless you're a sensitive asshole about it. It's literally just
So, yeah, exactly. You want me to go back? Listen to this. Listen to this one more time.
That took a weird turn.
Listen to this one more time.
Only Jewish kid.
Did you get shit for that?
all the time. You walk down the hallway, someone just throw a penny on the ground. And everyone would laugh.
That used to happen at my school too. But that's not shit. That's unless you're like a sensitive like asshole about it. Like,
okay, David. What? That sounds like a horrific fucking anti-Semitic moment. He just described a moment where someone threw a penny at his feet, said, "Pick it up, Jew," and everybody's laughing at him. And David goes, "That's not shit unless you're a fucking pussy asshole about it." Does that sound a little twisted to anyone else?
It's fucked up, dude.
It's so absurd that I thought I misunderstood what I was hearing.
Yeah, it's not, and you didn't hear that.
He's
wrong.
not referring to the kids doing it. He's referring to
referring to Jason. He said, "Did you ever get shit for it?" He
Right.
says, "Yes, people used to throw pennies at my feet and tell me to pick it up, Jew." He's like, "That's not shit. What is shit?" He's like, "That's not shit unless you're a pussy asshole, which you are, right, Jason? You're a bitch." What would be shit in David's? Yeah, I got some shit back in the 40s. My whole family got exterminated. He's like, now that might qualify as shit. It maybe you're still kind of a bitch for bringing it up.
Like it's literally just like
I get it. I mean, I was able to take it fine. It built character, but I know when I tell like some people that story, they're like, "That's awful."
Yeah, you could tell that was traumatic. And I've never faced anti-Semitism like that, like firsthand, because there was a lot of Jews growing up in my school and stuff. But my dad did, and I can tell that. I mean, it sounds horrible. It sounds really very, 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 very negative experience for sure.
I've experienced some anti-Semitism.
Tell me your story, Zach.
Just the school I went to, a lot of kids they viewed it as a joke, calling me the K word,
Yeah, that's horrible. I've been called that before.
To my face. And there was one time I punched the kid in the chest for saying it.
There you go.
Because like he said it so many times, and it's like, what does my religion have to do with anything?
Yeah, I got called a K word once and threw hands when I was a kid. He bitched out and claimed he didn't know what it meant, but I was like, "Fuck, you know what the fuck it meant."
It's hard. It's not a it's fucked up.
Yeah, there was a good amount of it in my schools growing up too. And same situation as you, Ethan. I mean, I grew up in an area with a lot of Jewish people, and I mean, it was still present. It always was. I mean, nobody got beat up for being Jewish or anything like that, but certainly, Jew jokes and kind of more along the lines of what Jason was describing. I mean, I feel like that
People
may have
throwing
even
a penny at your feet and saying "pick it up."
Well, not me.
I feel like
I'm like a stealth Jew. Nobody knew that I was Jewish, but there's definitely that kind of stuff going on. Yeah.
That to me seems like extraordinarily aggressive anti-Semitism.
It was like, I don't know. I hate to pin it on this solely, but I do feel like when we were kids, South Park was really popular, and like Jew jokes was like a huge thing on that show. At least I haven't watched South Park in years. I don't know if they still make Jew jokes all the time, but that was like a thing on there.
Jason's a bit older though. He's like, remember, he's old as fuck.
Yeah, he was probably in high school.
I know
in the
you're
70s
right
or
though.
something.
You're right. Yeah.
I was only Arab at my school.
The only one?
I was the only one, yeah. But it was like after 9/11, there was a lot of like terrorist jokes and whatnot, but it didn't bother me too much. But my younger brother got teased bad. Like they'd call him like smelly Arab and stuff like that. Really.
Damn, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, that time right after 9/11
David would tell your brother to stop being
terrible.
a whiny little fucking bitch and just stop being an insensitive asshole.
9/11 built character, but I know when I tell like some people that story, they're like, "That's awful."
Yes,
It is awful.
I know. But I know in my school that shit happened all the time.
Right.
And it wasn't a problem at all. Like whether you
Are
were,
you sure it
whether
wasn't
you
a
were
problem,
black-
or are you just like a fucking?
I wonder who was doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Are you sure it wasn't a problem, or are you just like a normal fucking Caucasian white dude that doesn't get made fun of? I mean, look at his videos. He shits on everybody. He doesn't get any shit. He shits on everybody. Everybody gets shit on. They're a slut. They're fat. They're stupid. They're black. He doesn't get any shit.
Yeah, if you read between the lines there a little bit, I have a feeling I know who was making the Jew jokes at
yeah.
David Dobrik's high school.
Keep listening here.
Jewish, Catholic, completely.
Nobody gets made up for being Catholic.
I mean, in some places, Catholics get shit. It's definitely not a thing in California because there's so many Catholics here.
Ooh, Catholic. It's like, sorry, this isn't the fucking Vatican. Who makes what the fuck?
In a lot of part of the country, Catholics are not very common. We live here. There's lots of Hispanic people. They're all Catholic. Like Catholic is very normal in California, but in a lot of the country, Catholics are.
What do you say about a
relatively
Catholic?
rare.
Hey, you white fucking normal, kind of like normal Christian dude.
Well, a lot of Catholics aren't white though. Is the thing.
Right. Okay. So maybe I'm talking out of turn here. Shout out to the Catholics.
Catholic, completely white. You would get shit equally.
Hey, you completely white dude. You're gonna get shit equal.
So it hasn't changed at all in 20 years? Like, so people still do that?
No one was safe. Yes, of course.
Really?
Now it's changing. Now, at least from the internet is one of the most sensitive places on earth. So I don't know if that's changing in schools too. But like, I know where I grew up, it was, I mean, you can say
Brandon told me the same thing. Brandon, we were about the same age as Brandon, and he said in his school.
Oh, yeah.
In California that it was the same.
No, it was.
So it's still brutal.
No, I mean, like, I know teachers that would make you dirty Jew jokes. Like, because it's just.
What?
It's not bad. They're just words. And like, I think.
Bro, how the fuck are you, a normal straight white dude, gonna come here and tell me words are just, it's just words?
Maybe that's how we were raised. We're like, they're not.
You had a teacher that told a Jew joke.
We had really cool teachers.
Really?
Oh my God, this dude.
This is a really bad clip.
This
for
is
him.
brutal.
And mind you, he's on the anti-bullying tour right now.
Right. Oh man.
He's saying his favorite, the coolest teachers are the ones fucking. The anti-Semitic ones are the coolest ones.
Holy shit.
I fucking kind of am starting to despise him. I think he's just kind of a piece of shit bully.
He seems pretty scummy. I mean,
all Jews.
I like what he's saying about everybody gave everybody shit. Like, that was kind of the case in my school too. I get what he's saying there, but
you only hold that perspective when you're the one doing the bullying.
Right.
If you've ever been on the receiving end of bullying, you would not come out here with the perspective of it's all good. No, everybody gets shit. Oh, why would you even complain? It's just words. It doesn't mean anything.
Like
you wouldn't fucking say that if you are actually ever bullied.
Yes. Like I got bullied a decent amount, and
In fact, you would probably only say that in a way to fucking rationalize the amount of bullying you did. Be like, oh no, they're fine.
Yeah.
Cynical.
They're fine. I'm fine, so they're fine. Somebody called me a white once. Someone called me a cracker once. It didn't hurt my feelings. So they must be fine that I called them dirty Jews and threw pennies at their feet. Pick up the penny, Jew. You'd have to be an asshole to be offended by that. Hey, Jew, here's your lucky day. I'm throwing a nickel.
I love my teachers.
Yeah, you had some cool ones. We went back to David's school to shoot
None
a
of
video.
those teachers would say stuff like that. But we had really laid back teachers where they would. I mean, I told you a story where a teacher once let me go get Wendy's during the class period because he was annoyed at me.
Because he was frustrated with you.
He was frustrated. He was like, get out of my room. And I'm like, can I leave the school? And he's like, I don't care. Just please leave the room. And I got in my car and I drove away. And I came back and I brought him a sandwich and we were all good the next day.
Got some Wendy's, shot an outro.
Call me woke, but I don't think teachers should be making anti-Semitic jokes towards their students. Call me old-fashioned, though.
Yeah, I didn't have any of those teachers in my school.
Anyway, hope he's having a good time on the no bullying tour.
If you're aware, we've been following the ongoing saga that has been happening with David Dobrik and the Vlog Squad. We've talked about it a lot because there's a lot coming out with it. And one of the big stories that kind of stemmed from that and kind of came off into its own branch, like this is the tree and went off to its own, little branch, and now that branch is so big that it's almost its own tree. That's a weird metaphor. Let's not do that. I've been out of school and education system for a long time. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, Scotty Sire, who is a member of the Vlog Squad, made a video called Hi. It got 1 million views, and it was basically him just victim shaming and victim blaming and saying that anyone coming forward against David and the Vlog Squad were using it for clout. They were okay in the Oh, my shirt is Dua Lipa, by the way. I hope you like it. Just a little casual fit today. Hope you're okay with that. So the video was plain bad. It was him defending his friends and basically saying that his friends are good to him, so his friends are good to everybody. Let's not talk about it more than that because the video makes me so angry. Now, he was getting backlash upon backlash for this video. Trisha made videos, Ethan made videos, other YouTubers made videos, YouTubers were making tweets. His friends weren't even defending him, like the Vlog Squad were silent, so they really just threw the nicest member, Scotty Sire, who had the best reputation, out to defend David Dobrik and Jason and the friend group whenever he wasn't involved and was actually looking the best in the situation. They threw him out to defend them, and now he's actually one of the worst in the situation. He's been losing thousands upon thousands of subscribers. He's been deleting videos allegedly from his channel. It's just not good for him. So the video was up for maybe 5 days, I want to say, and then it was deleted like that. Now, in his video, he states that, you know, people coming forward, like, you will pay for this, and, you know, don't put dangerous things out there because it will come back. He was doing all these little threats to the people that were speaking up or speaking about the David Dobrik situation, and basically saying that they're going to get sued or silenced in some sort of way. And so it's interesting that after making such big claims and threats like that, his video gets deleted like that, right? Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. He deleted the video and immediately people were like, we're not going to let you just delete this video and run from this because you were losing so many subscribers, you were getting so many dislikes, more dislikes than likes by the stage the video was actually deleted. Comments were completely calling you out in your hypocrisies and lying. The main hypocrisy, him saying, you know, believe me, not giving us any evidence, but saying for us not to believe someone else, but they're not giving evidence. Whole mess. Then he tweets a notes apology! Woo! We haven't had one of these in a long time. So we're going to look at that now. So he basically tweeted out, no caption by the way, and just a notes. And I want to preface this that it got 7,000 likes and got absolutely ratioed. People getting more likes than him, calling him out. And just look at this. How bare does this look? So he said, hi again. Now keep in mind his initial video was called Hi, so hahaha, so clever. Hi again. First of all, I would like to apologize to anyone who feels as though I disrespected or invalidated their story. Again, there's a little bit of wordplay here. Who feels as if I did this. I apologize if you feel like I did this. I'm not saying I did. I apologize if you feel like I did. It's like the standard YouTuber apology where they're like, I'm so sorry if you were offended. It's like, how are we supposed to react to a YouTuber who says something like that? And he's doing the exact same thing here in my opinion as well. First of all, I'd like to apologize to anyone who feels as though I disrespected their story. It's not anyone who feels, it's that you straight up point blank period did that. That was never my intention, and I mean that so sincerely. Full stop. Okay? I let emotion get the better of me, and I chose my approach and many of my words poorly. Many of your words? I would say all of your words, but that's open to interpretation, I guess. I chose to make the video and share my opinion. I expected it to be analyzed and picked apart, but I did not expect it to hurt so many people, and so I've made the decision to remove it from my channel. Keep in mind this video I got ads on. So it was monetized for 5 days, allegedly. He made his money, allegedly. But now it can go. You know, he got the 1 million views on it. And we're aware that his channel hasn't been doing the best ever since David hasn't been featuring him. So if this is the approach to get views, okay. Okay.
I want to know what your comment is on that. Here, let me pull it up.
Also, stop doing Twitter notes. If you make a whole ass YouTube video, make a whole ass YouTube video.
Also, learn to
denouncing it.
crop your notes, dumbass. Like, I'm sorry. How about crop your fucking note? Because it showed up on my feed just like a white square. And I was like, bitch, how long have you been on the internet? Crop your shit, bro. Guilty.
Why did he do that video? That's like the dumbest. When we have our Steamies next year, like the dumbest move should go to Scotty Sire.
I forgot about the steamies. I'm so excited.
Me too.
Hi again.
Hi again.
Bro.
Okay.
Because
right.
Because this was hi. Hi again.
Stop it.
Dumbass.
They're so cringy.
First of all, I would like to apologize to anyone who feels as though I disrespected or invalidated their story. How about Seth, specifically? That was never my intention, and I mean that so sincerely. Well, it was specifically your intention to invalidate Seth's story. That was your explicit, express intention. Yeah. I let emotions get the better of me, and I chose my approach and many of my words poorly. I chose to make the video and share my opinion. I expected it to be analyzed and picked apart, but I did not expect it to hurt so many people, and so I've made the decision to remove the video from my channel.
It wasn't your opinion. You literally said that's not the truth, Seth. You told a lie.
Yeah,
you're literally invalidating his
Yeah, exactly. So I responded to him.
Opinion.
I said, Scotty, with peace and love, of course. You didn't just choose the wrong words. You ignored that David. So his video, like, ignored pretty much every major development, including, I said, you ignored that David admitted to the pranks being racially motivated. You ignored that the first prank was not consensual. Like, you can debate the second one. I think the second one was not consensual. You know, pranks are by definition not consensual.
And they were, but David and Jason have admitted that the second one he had no idea.
Yeah.
That's.
But
just,
but like the first one, you can't even debate it, right? So he ignored that the first prank was not consensual, and he indirectly threatened the victim and tried to assassinate his character while bringing up like the revenge P word and all that.
Right.
I was like, bro, just fucking own it. Like, this is some bullshit apology. This is like David Dobrik level when he did the Native American bit. He put out an apology video going, apology to everyone offended, and apology to everyone who wasn't offended because other people were offended or something.
So stupid.
You know. David Dobrik rarely deletes videos. In one of them, Jason Nash dressed as Native Americans and runs around LA making racist jokes at passerbyers. Video was scrubbed from the internet. See, that's what I was saying about the kiss. When David gets into shit, he scrubs and he puts block protocols with his MCN, which is, you know, interesting. Is it possible to find any screenshot or video? Wow. But here's his apology, apparently, which is an awful apology. Let's see.
Think was too offensive. But after reading... What's up, guys? A lot of you guys are wondering why I had to delete my last vlog, and that's because I made an offensive joke that at the time I didn't think was too offensive. But after reading some comments, I realized that a lot of you guys didn't like it as much as I thought you were going to. For those of you guys who found the vlog to be offensive, I'm sorry you did. For those of you who didn't find it to be offensive, I'm sorry they did. So instead of completely deleting this vlog...
That's a little insensitive.
What a great apology. I'm sorry they did.
What he's doing is he's blaming them. He's like, sorry if you didn't get to see the video, it's these fucking sensitive bitches' fault.
They're just
You like that, Dan? Should I use that next time I get into hot water?
I'm sorry they got offended.
For those of you who weren't offended, I'm sorry that they did get offended. Can we soundbite that? Have Zach's, wait, we have to have Zach soundbite that. Okay.
Much as I thought you were going to. For those of you guys who found the vlog to be offensive, I'm sorry you did. For those of you who didn't find it to be offensive, I'm sorry they did. So instead of completely deleting this vlog, I decided to film this apology.
You could be in the vlog squad. Dan's laugh right there.
Dan, you would fit right in.
I guess they do laugh that hard at David.
No, I'm just funny. Dan honestly just thinks I'm fucking hilarious.
Really? And the cake decorating, you're like,
no, but
Dan, you don't know shit.
Well, just because he thinks I'm funny doesn't mean that he knows anything. We didn't even watch that yet. What is this time warp shit?
I do apologize for that. I feel like I've made enough offensive jokes on YouTube where I've kind of figured it out now.
Anyway, yada. I mean, look, I do find the whole reports of like how controlling he is behind the scenes disturbing.
Or when I liked you mentioned on the H3 podcast when Jason said he got bullied for being a Jew, and David's
I have that clip. I want to watch that because I find that one really disturbing.
Because that's crazy. Like, that's his mentality. Like, he literally like thinks that way, which is like so. But now even seeing all this, how like they really are not sorry. Because I always thought it's weird, you know, David never reached out to me and like apologized, but like he's just like not sorry, and he actually thinks he did everything right and he's in the right of everything. And I'm like, that's fucking crazy to me. That's insane.
I'm gonna pull up my TikTok because I cut it down a bit. It's really long, and I think it's better to watch like this. Yeah, just watch this. This is to me as a Jew, especially. I mean, and as someone who's just not.
Jason is half a Jew. I don't know if that matters. Probably not.
I mean, he got bullied for being a Jew, so whatever is. Dude, you got to stop the Jewish gatekeeping.
First of all, he tricked me. I thought he was a full Jew, and then he's like, my mom's only Jewish. I'm like,
Yeah, that's full Jew.
Okay, but his dad's like Catholic.
You want Jewish purity.
I need, that's what I'm trying to get.
You got to stop, bro.
Why?
Because it's weird. Of David. Jason says he faced lots of anti-Semitism growing up. Horrible things. He mentions like people used to throw pennies at his feet and say, pick it up, Jew. Call him a dirty Jew. Anyway, just listen to this.
They call me dirty Jew. Yeah, I was the only Jewish kid in the school.
Shut up. Did you get shit for that?
All the time. You walk down the hallway, someone just throw a penny on the ground, and everyone would laugh.
That used to happen at my school,
All
too.
Jews.
But that's not shit. That's unless you're like a sensitive like asshole about it.
So, exactly. Do you want me to go back? Listen to this. Listen to this one more
That's
time.
like a weird turn.
No, I mean, like, I know teachers that would make you dirty Jew jokes. Like, because it's just...
What?
It's not bad. They're just words. And, like, I think...
Bro, how are you, a normal, straight, white dude, gonna come here and tell me words are just words?
You had a teacher that told a Jew joke.
We had really cool teachers.
Really?
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What if he's
Super
like...
fucked up.
Oh, my God. I think he's... I don't want to say it, but I think allegedly, maybe in my head, this is not defamatory, maybe a white supremacist or something.
No. Well, white supremacist?
Yeah. That's crazy. Who is it? Like,
I mean,
I had a teacher that was so cool. She used to call me dirty.
Well,
like,
also, I find it rich that he asks Jason, he goes, did you ever get shit for it? And then Jason goes, yes, I did get shit for it. And then David goes, no, you didn't get shit for it, you fucking bitch.
I know.
He asked him the question. I mean, I don't know what he expected. The guy said people threw pennies at my feet and told me to pick it up. If that's not shit, I don't know what is.
Wait, I don't really get that though. Okay, yeah, but that's besides the point. Got it.
Because
Yeah, it
Jews
is.
are greedy. That's the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's like I think back in the
Pennies.
day, they're like, pick it up, Jew. You fucking greedy Jew.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, another interesting thing about David before we get started is, the whole time that me and Trisha have been going on and on about this, he seemed like people just didn't care. It was unaffected. But now all of a sudden, he's been trending on YouTube since this article came out, and people are actually unsubbing, which I never expected actually to happen on his channel. Like, he lost 100,000 subscribers today. Just find it interesting that now... Oh, you know what it was? Is he made the video. And when he makes the video, he clues all the people in. And then they go, what the fuck? Because majority of people who watched that video on his apology video probably had no idea what the hell something was even going on.
I think it's also the fact that it's an article. It's not just other YouTubers talking about it.
Sure.
Because for someone from the outside, it may seem like who's real, who's not. It may seem like beef or drama.
Yeah.
Like hard to understand and hard to follow.
Yeah. People think anytime Trisha, they just go, oh, Trisha just has a vendetta against David. So they dismiss everything she says. Funnily enough, Trisha has proven to be completely right about everything in this situation.
Completely.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I have to say, I stand Trisha.
Yeah, I
She's
know.
been conducting herself quite well. I'm impressed with her.
Yeah.
Can I say I like her? She's my sister-in-law now.
Thank you.
Soon. Let's get into it. Now, guys, this might feel tedious at times. I'm going to try to... There's a lot of background information stuff I'm going to try to skip. But I do want to do it justice because this article is so well written and it's so well sourced. They did such a professional and good job. And by the way, like, dude, they got the receipts. Like, the main source of this article is this girl who was the victim of the essay. And she has there's a lot of supporting evidence here, like pictures and videos and DMs and stuff that she all shared with Insider, to the point where I don't think anyone is even trying to deny or discredit that this happened.
Right. I haven't seen anyone really trying to even question it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting and unusual.
Yeah.
So up to this point, it's been a battle of like, oh, this and that, and David never wouldn't do it. David doesn't have a bad bone in his body.
He's just disappointed.
Yeah. So they crushed. I mean, this article is just, they crushed it on the journalistic side of it. Okay, here we go. And yes, I did buy a membership. We did it. I wanted to do it right. At least, if I'm going to pirate it for everybody here, at least I paid for it.
Can we not use the word pirate?
I'm kidding. It's not a pirate. I'm a journal. As a journalist, I'm commenting on a current event covered by fair use. Damn it. Okay, so the title is A Woman Featured on YouTube Star David Dobrik's channel Says She Was R-worded by a Vlog Squad member in 2018, the night they filmed a video about group sex.
Next time on H3 Podcast Lore.
If there was a paywall on it and you wanted to get those clicks through doing it this way,
They had lawyers.
money.
David's lawyers were threatening them nonstop. They have.
I don't know. I don't know this stuff.
Well-
you act like I'm with David every day.
Well, it's in the article. If you would have fucking read the article.
Okay, Ethan.
You know how the David Dobrik situation was already incredibly bad? Well, it just got worse for a completely different reason. Jeff Wittick, of course, a member of David Dobrik's Vlog Squad. We've known for a while now that he sustained a life-altering injury, but very few details were known.
And then there's the thing where, like, your body came to my house twice.
I can't, he's a grown man. I can't control. We talked about him. You want me to call him in here? We get another F on the hat?
No,
I
have a restraining order.
He goes, oh yeah, he told me to ask you if we could drop that.
He made a story on Instagram of him driving past my house at night with the windows open, like my office is facing the street, and like it's a gated community, And he wrote some caption like, "We know where you live.
Yeah,
we can get to you." Some shit like that.
Let me say this.
No.
I mean really rooting. Like, yo, that's the most successful person. I don't like the fact that person's successful.
But bro, you're talking about a hard R rating.
Oh, hold on a second. No. Like I said,
then what are you talking about? 'Cause it is sad to see until you consider the circumstance and you go, no. Every ounce of sadness that I had was allocated to the victim.